Tap in. Oh, tap in, tap in, tap in, my people. Tap in. This is Coach Jay. This is Coach Sean. We are here, tapped in with you guys to see how you doing. Much love to the undefeated. Much love to everybody in the chat. Definitely want to see what you guys are up to. Um, definitely want to tap in with you guys today, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about with myself and my brother, Coach Jay. Uh, Everybody tap in, as they say, run the numbers up, hit the like buttons, do all that great stuff, all that wonderful stuff. Let me see who in here first, right quick, Coach Jay. So we got
Mm-hmm.
Janet Forsett. Janet, thank you for being in here, Janet. We got my man Larry Large in here. What's up, Larry? How you doing, bro? We got Dwight in here, man. How you doing, Dwight? What's going on with you, man? We got Chris from New Jersey up in here. What's up, Chris? We got my sis, Katrina Blackman. Glad you in here. Got Kimberly Harmon. Glad you in here. So glad you guys are tapping in. Got Chance for setting here. What's up, Chance? How you doing, man? Glad you guys tapped in. We got my boy Bear in here, man. Run the Table Sports TV is in here for sure. We got Nicole Covington. Shout out to Nicole. How you doing, Nicole? Glad you in here. We got Carla Bailey. Glad you in here, man. My girl Janet, as I said. Glad you in here, Janet Forsett. Got Darkwing Duck in here. What's up, Darkwing? How you doing, man? Got the man Frank Wright in here. Who else we got? We got Dixon Butts in here. Dixon Butts. I think I like that name. Dixon Butts. That's what's up, Dixon. I like that name, man. Stephen Angle. What's up with you, bro? How you feeling, man? Mickey Pate is in the house. What's up, Mickey? You got my brother and me and Jay's homie to death. Patriot Life. What's up, Patriot Life, man? Shout out to you. Glad you in here, man. My girl Kimberly Harmon, as I said. What's up, Kimberly? You already know. Antonio Snell is in the house with us, man. Crimson Watch is in the house with us.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everybody? And Ruben Poole is in the house with us. About to transition, Coach Jay.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? No, but seriously though, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. Before we begin, man, how are your brackets? I know I talked about this with Coach Sean in the back, but my bracket's busted. Nevada just cost me $1,000. Thanks, Nevada, for blowing a 24-4 run. I really appreciate that. Who else? Besides that, all my picks were correct. I had all the upsets right and everything like that. So who knows, man? Hopefully, I think Alabama plays. I think they play tomorrow. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. Good luck to Alabama. They play against I think they play against Charleston Southern. I think like President Joe Biden actually had Charleston winning the game, so hopefully we can kind of prove her on that aspect.
Yeah.
But no, besides that though, man, yeah, my bracket is absolutely just crap, and I hope that you guys are not going through the same strand and absolute garbage that I am particularly going through, man, because otherwise I'm going to feel bad. I am really, really going to feel bad, man.
I can faithfully say that I picked BYU to lose, so I'm very ecstatic
I got
about
that right.
that.
Yeah,
I also picked Mississippi State to lose to Michigan State. I'm excited about that. So my bracket is, and I don't know if Illinois lost, but I picked them to lose. You know what I mean? I don't know if they lost or not, but I did pick Illinois. They did? Okay, so that's my first L. So yeah, man, it's been a good one so far for me. Darkwing Duck said, yo, I need that shirt. Yeah, this is my yard cutting shirt, Darkwing Duck. This is my yard cutting shirt, bro. I had to cut some grass today for the first time this year. You know, I've been putting the Priya Merchant and all that mess down. So I had to go and cut it today, bro. Luckily, I don't have too big of a yard and knocked that out pretty quickly, man. I appreciate
you're lucky.
Man.
You're very, very lucky, man. You would think I will be cutting the grass. I'm actually ready to cut the grass. Can't cut the grass because it's snowing. So
yeah,
we're about to be in April. Yeah, it's snowing. And we're about to be in April when we're in this.
Wait,
you know what's funny?
It's snowing right now, and where you from? Where you at?
Oh yeah, it's snowing.
Wow.
You know what's funny? Off pretty much late. I would say February and early March. No snow. It was actually beautiful. Probably like the warmest winter I think we've ever had. And then all of a sudden we're about to get to spring, and all of a sudden it's just been snowing nonstop. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. It was cold here like last week, but Shoot, it's good now. Everybody out cutting grass and getting ready. You know what I mean? Couple of things to talk about today, my people. Me and Coach Jay tapped in here, man. First of all, I want to say a big shout out to the staff, man. These guys did an awesome job. We got another young linebacker right now after getting Duke Johnson yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Coach DeBoer and his staff are absolutely killing it. They're absolutely killing it. I mean, these guys are doing a great job, man. You gotta give them the credit right now because they're doing some great things. And you know, what can you say? Everybody doubted us, Coach Jay, with this recruiting. Right now, we're really doing a great job of getting of cleaning up some holes and putting some kids in position to be great next year. What do you think?
No, you're right. You're right. And again, like it was. Who says that Kalen DeBoer can't recruit, man? All of a sudden, all of a sudden, we got I think what 6 or 7 commits. We're doing a tremendous job. I think for around the March period alone, we got around 4 guys. And if you want to include like Noah Carter into the mix as well, that's 5 guys of what we got so far during the DeBoer era. So that's great. I mean, you look at some of the other, recruiting classes right now. I mean, we're eighth right now in recruiting, and I think we're only going to keep that going. We could potentially have a commitment tomorrow. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about because he was on this show with Coach Mook not that long ago. So hopefully we'll have that kind of announcement. I think tomorrow will be the announcement. But no, we got 2 linebackers for the most part. I know for the most part you're excited about Daryl. We got another guy from Modern Day, which I'm extremely ecstatic about. I was able to kind of watch his film. Coach Sean, did you watch any of his huddle?
I did. Extremely excited about that cat. Extremely excited about it. A couple of kids I'm excited about that. And right now, man, it seems like Alabama's hot. It seems like we're hot, man. Shout out to Brian Russell. I appreciate that, Brian. They own this Ninja Turtle shirt, bro. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, brother. It's just my lounging, gym, cut grass shirt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I didn't really mean to put it on, man, but I was chilling and forgot I had this daggone thing on, man. Pardon me, you know what I mean? But appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, we got a couple of kids I'm excited about, man. The crazy thing is the young man that we got yesterday, I was extremely high on this kid. I had a chance to see this kid in Atlanta. Actually, his 11th grade. No, he's in the 12th grade right now, right? He's a senior. So right, this was 2000, the beginning of 2000, the summer of 2023. So yeah, man, and this kid this kid can play anything too, man. Running back, they got them listed as 6'1", but no, this kid probably like 6'2" and a half. He's closer to 6'3". Trust me, I've seen some people that was about 6 foot 6'1". He's taller than them. They got him listed as a linebacker. Then I also seen him listed as an athlete. So I don't know where he's gonna play at, but this kid, I promise you, man, I was very excited to get Duke Johnson. Very excited to get him, man. He's putting together for this 4-2-5 defense. Coach DeBoer and that staff is putting together an awesome class. We're very fortunate enough to get Duke Johnson, man, because right now Georgia is just warming up to that kid. So we're very, very fortunate to get that kid's commitment, man. I'm shout out to him and his family, and really proud to get that commitment, Coach Jay.
Yeah, and we got to continue to do a good job to keep him because you're right, Georgia. I don't think Georgia's going to give up on that kid. That kid is extremely talented. One thing about the 4-2-5 that we're starting to learn about, guys, you got to have range. You got to have range. You got to have speed. You got to find ways to cover ground. And if you look at the linebackers that we're trying to get right now, you look at a Daryl Johnson. You look at all of a sudden now we have the kid from Modern Day. I think Sanders Jr. Who also, I mean, again, I watch a lot of Modern Day football. I watch a lot of Trinity League football. That kid, pretty much, I think he's a pure outside linebacker. Maybe you can make the transition, you can make him turn into like a Mike, but I think he's a pure outside linebacker for the most case. But literally, like the first 3 plays that jump out on the huddle is his coverage instincts, his coverage ability. The fact how he can read the quarterback, how he can read the quarterback's eyes, how he can kind of drop back, with a hurry, with the quickness, and he has ball instincts, man. He has natural ball instincts, and he was a big component for Modern Day to winning not just a state championship. They won the national championship, guys. I love modern day kids. I love Trinity kids, St. John Bosco kids, because these are
Yeah.
players that play at the highest level. They play against the best teams in the country, and so
Yeah.
you can see you can see, okay, what's 5-star versus 5-star. Yeah, we can see that on shorts, and we can see that with the little kind of cushion things that they kind of wear on top of their heads. But for the most part, no. What are you going to be like against the 5-star versus 5-star, 4-star versus 4-star with a full on helmet on, right? Full on helmet, shoulder pad, cleats. What are you going to look like? And we see what this kid was able to do it against top competition. Very instinctive against the run, and like we just talked about it before, he's rangy. The dude knows how to cover ground, and he can be very, very aggressive. So you look at a guy like a Luke Metz, who could potentially commit tomorrow. We talk about, again, Coach Moog. Again, we saw his film, and Luke kind of broke it down for us. Kid's an athlete. Kid's a heck of a baller. Matter of fact, there was I don't even know if this is true or not, but there's a lot of people saying that he's probably one of the best linebackers maybe to ever come out of Mill Creek. And Mill Creek's put out a lot of NFL talent. I don't know how true you think that is, but I mean, like I said, I love his film. I love his overall game, and that's another guy who we could potentially land in this class. And so we have been extremely dependent on focusing on the defensive side of the ball, which is something that I really like. We are building this defense up by getting faster, by getting younger, by getting guys that are more scheme fit compared to what we had in the past, by simply just getting the pure best athletes. I love it. And again, these are not the biggest linebackers in the world, guys, right? If Luke Metz commits, he actually would be I believe the biggest linebacker in this class, because I think he's around 230, 235. But besides that, a lot of our linebackers are 215, 220, light. They're very light linebackers. And something that, honestly, you look at Washington, that's pretty much something that we seen with DeBoer last season, was that they had a lot of light players that played either in the secondary or in the linebacking position. They wanted guys that were quick and that were fast and that can have a lot of range ability. And so we'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this class so far. 2 big pickups back to back, and yeah, hopefully we can just continue that momentum, and hopefully we can grab Luke tomorrow.
Shout out to Dr. 334. Much love to you, Dr. 334. Glad you're tapping in, man. Adam Watson, glad you're tapping in. Samuel Phillips, I'm glad you're tapping in, man. Glad you guys are up in here for sure, for sure. Coach Al, what's up with you, man? How you feeling? Shout out to Coach Al Sanders. Much love to Coach, man. That's our guy right there, man. We always chop it up, man. Shout out to Monica Hill. Shout out to my bro Sean Williams, even though he's from Bama State. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm just joking, man. Shout out to my brother Sean, man. Glad you're up in here, bro. Patriot Life as always. Just everybody, man. Glad you guys are tapping in. John M is up in here. Clinton Howard is up in here. Run those numbers up. Hit those like buttons if you can. Marquita, my neighbor, is in here. So please hit those like buttons if you can, man, and run those numbers up if you can. Anthony Young is in here. What's up, Anthony? Glad you're up in here, brother. Thank you for tapping in with us, man. Bruce Watson is in here. Paul Young is in here. Glad everybody, the OG himself, Jay Townsend, is in here. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? Glad you up in here, bro. Glad you up in here. So yeah, I agree with everything Coach Jay said. It is a lot of talent. It is a lot of talent. What's up, Paul? Paul Young and Glenn Fiddler's in here. It's a lot of people that's upset right now. What's up, Wendy Six? How you doing, man? Because a lot of people that follow the University of Alabama football and follow recruiting did not expect Coach DeBoer to be recruiting as well, just like Coach Jay said. And when you see the talent that this guy's bringing in, and more importantly, when you see kids who 5'11" that play defensive back, a lot of those kids Coach Saban may or may not have offered, right? Coach Saban had a set of standards or a set of criteria that he looked for in corners, and very, very rarely did he take corners under 6 foot. Cyrus Jones, back in the day, Javier Arenas. Other than that, I think maybe Anthony Averett might have been right at 5'11", 6 foot. But other than that, most of the corners that Coach Saban recruit are all 6 foot, 6'1", in the 6 foot range at least. So OG Ephraim, what's up with you, man? Jason Demuth, what's up with y'all? Matt Farms is in here. So to see what Coach DeBoer is doing and bringing these great athletic kids who are versatile and giving these kids an opportunity to come play on the biggest stage, man, it is awesome to see. it is awesome to see, and they are committing by the bunches, right? So it's a lot of people out there that's angry right now. It's a lot of people that's biting their nails right now. Shout out to Jay Jackson. What's up, Jay? And I agree with Coach Jay wholeheartedly. These kids are here. They're excited. When you watch what they say, they're excited about how practice is, the music, the up tempo, the laughing and talking, the coaches being on social media. These kids are enjoying that. They're enjoying the high energy of Alabama, man. It's totally different than what we've done in the past. Now, the games will tell the story, but this is where you start. Coach Jay can tell you the exact same thing. Recruiting is the lifeblood of your program, man. It's the
Mm-hmm.
lifeblood of wins and losses. It's the lifeblood of having talent on top of talent. You know, injuries will come. Injuries are bound to come. So when you have guys like this that you can stack on top of one another and provide a great opportunity for these kids to play, I think you're on the right track, Coach Jay.
No, you are 100% right. I mean, it is the lifeblood. It is no joke. You got to recruit in the SEC. We all know DeBoer, and we all know he can form a coaching staff that can develop. We all know this. Matter of fact, he took a team to a national championship based off of 3 stars. And they had talent. I'm not saying Washington was one of the more talented teams in the Pac-12, but compared to the SEC, I mean, you can take Tennessee, and if Tennessee had Tennessee with Josh Heupel in there, and I think they could have had 10 wins. I mean, the amount of like passing stats and rushing yards, the amount of total offense in that conference was absurd. It was barely any defense. All right, this is going to be a much more balanced approach, much more talented, much more defensive oriented. It's going to be nuts in the SEC, and so Kalen DeBoer, he's got to get ready. Again, this was one of our biggest concerns, kind of going in, was can he recruit here? Right, recruiting in the South is different from recruiting in the West Coast, and I think from what we're finding out so far is that he can recruit, he can form together a staff that can adapt. Right, he can form together a staff that is adapted because. Again, again, we've had coaches like Robert Gillespie. I think we like Mo Linguist from UB. He used to pretty much knows the state of Texas well, but he understands Southern recruiting. But besides, I mean, Womack, also another guy that's kind of more of a lifeblood, right? His dad was I think a coach at Ole Miss, so he understands the tradition of Southern SEC, recruiting. Besides that, though, we've had a lot of other coaches in the staff that maybe aren't too familiar with it. And so you're starting to see that these coaches are starting to really adapt to it, and they're doing a really good job. And like you just said before, I think we're in a different age now where social media, I think the younger the coaches are, the more coaches that can relate with the kids, that is what's truly going to win over. That's what's going to win a lot of kids over. And then of course, there's other factors as well, such as NIL and a bunch of stuff that the NCAA is trying to get rid of, or they're trying to at least to keep a hold of, but they have no sort of power at all, because if they do try it, they will get a lawsuit, and then they'll lose. So yeah, other factors matter too, but other than that, I mean, Kalen DeBoer is doing a great job. He's maintaining, and listen, it started off rough. I mean, we couldn't even hold together a coordinator spot. It was rough, but we're getting better. We're getting right back to the track of things, and as you're starting to see that other college programs are once again complaining about Alabama once again is preparing for is preparing for that spring window period. They are preparing for it, and I'm telling you, once that day comes, you're not just going to see a Caden Proctor was only the beginning of what is about to happen. I don't think Coach Sean. I don't think people truly realize what is going to happen, or what's about to happen when Judgment Day hits. There's a reason why I've been talking about it for 3 months, almost 3 months. Because I know it's about to happen. It's going to be a nightmare for a lot of college programs once that spring window pops up. Once all of a sudden a bunch of kids back out from their NIL collective, and they start to steal cash, and they go elsewhere to either try to collect the check, or they go elsewhere. See, I'm not just talking about Alabama getting players. I'm talking like other programs. Like, it's going to be chaos for other programs. And it's going to be a frenzy for some programs, for programs like us, Georgia, and teams that have big NIL collectives. It's going to be great for them, but it's going to be a nightmare for other programs. And so I'm telling you, once that spring window pops out, it's going to be a mess.
I agree with you 1,000%, Coach Jay. It's coming, man. Right now, kids are fighting to get to Alabama nice and quietly. Shout out to Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Roll Tide to you, Ryan. Antoine Currington, what's up with you, bro? How you doing, Twan? Good to go. Good to see you, bro. You know what I mean? LaQuasia, my decor queen, is right there. Everyone need to holler at LaQuasia. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, she got them skills, man. You better listen to your boy, Chris Camp. I need for everybody to do me a big solid though. Sean Williams been on y'all head telling you. Darkwing Duck been telling you. If you guys don't mind, can you please hit that like button for us? It means a lot. It goes a long way. I'm really learning about how that helps and stuff like that. If y'all don't mind, please hit that like button on your way in the door, if you will. Hit that thing, man, and run that thing up so we can get this video out there to all the haters. High Power TV, what's up, bro? Seeing you in a minute, man. What's up? High Power, man, where you been, bro? What's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, High Power. Good to see you in here, bro. Jag, my ATL partner's here. What's up with you? How are you feeling, Jag? I'm so glad you in here. Much love to you. Jermaine Mims is in here. What's up, Jermaine? Eric D. What up, Eric D? Eric D is in here with us, Coach J. What's up, Eric? Man, where you been too, bro? Been looking for y'all, man. What's up, Eric? Caleb Taylor's in here. Man, much love to Jor. He's in here. Man, everybody's in here, man. Shout out to John Lee. What's up, John Lee? So we got Ryan right here, Coach J. Like you said, $1.99, $2 super chat from Ryan. Who's the new linebacker from California? That's what Coach J was just breaking down. Go ahead, Coach J. Take that with him.
Yeah, so his name is Abdul Sanders, Abdul Sanders Jr. He's an outside linebacker from Mater Dei, literally the best team in the country. Was a starting linebacker, very impactful player. Yeah, the kid is, he's 6'2", 212 pounds. Could pack on some weight when he gets to college. Probably going to play like around 220, probably like around 220, maybe even 225. Really, really instinctive, solid in coverage. But his range is his best skill asset. He's very, very rangy. He's not afraid to come downhill, right? And I think he's very, very strong. He knows how to shed blockers. He knows how to take on blockers, especially when it comes to pulling guards. I've seen a couple plays where they would use counters where you're pulling both the guard and the tackle, and one of their linebackers would try, and he was the one that would fill in the hole. He was the one that would go ahead and meet it up, fill it in, and pretty much cause having a disruption. That's something that we talked about with Luke Metz. That's something that that's something that Daryl was able to kind of provide to the table. We honestly, that's kind of been one of our biggest complaints last year, was that we just didn't have linebackers that could consistently fill in. And so, I mean, Jahad Campbell, the reason why he's, let's be honest, he stole Trent Marshall's job was because he played a lot more bigger. He played a lot more physical. He could still, he can play the run game. He could fill in, but he also was rangy. And Trustman wasn't rangy. And he just didn't have those natural instincts to be successful. I think that this kid's a different animal. This is one thing, and a lot of people they ask me, why am I high with Mater Dei players? It's because Mater Dei has the best coaches. They do. Yeah. They have the best coaches, and again, when you have coaches like how they do in Mater Dei, they're paying these dudes a lot of money. It's almost they're paying these coaches just as much as D1 colleges do when it comes to their football programs. They do not play. They have pro dudes. They have a lot of pro guys. They have like former kind of NFL coaches, NFL coaches, guys that has been part of this. But you look at some of their director personnel program, it's nuts. Their strength and conditioning program is nuts. It's damn near a minor league. And so this kid, when you're starting for Mater Dei and you're and not just starting, but you're one of the best defensive players on that team, that tells me all I kind of need to know, that this kid is a very well coached young man. And of course he's not perfect. There's a lot of things that needs to be polished within his game. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys check out his huddle tape. You guys are going to be very, very impressed with him. And I think you guys are all going to agree that his skill set fits exactly what this team is looking to try to do with their linebackers in this 4-2-5 scheme.
There you go, Ryan. Shout out to you, man. Thank you again for that $2 super chat, Ryan. Hope Coach J answered your question. The young man is super talented. This is right on the heels of just getting Duke Johnson. So shout out to the staff. Thank you, Ryan, for that, man. We appreciate you. Shout out to Carl Counts. What's up, Carl? My homeboy Eric D is in here. High Power TV, I feel you, man. Been busy. I get it too, brother. Alabama sub, how are you? Good to see you in here. What you got, Coach J, on Al Sanders?
I'll say L. Sanders just broke it down. He just broke it down right here. So if a lot of you guys want to still know, or maybe you guys are just catching on, I think Coach L just broke it down perfectly, right? Twitchy athlete, very instinctive type guy. It is technical. Like I just talked about before, that's one thing I love about modern day players. They are technical. They're way more technically advanced coming into college than I think any other program in the country. Maybe St. John Bosco, maybe IMG Academy is another one of those schools that, even though I don't know IMG's coaches, man. Have just been, they're good, but they're not as good as they used to be. I don't know. They keep changing coaches year in and year out. But I mean, you want to talk about the combination of just both talent and just great coaching. I don't think there's any better program in the country besides modern day. Maybe Bishop Gorman, but I don't know, man. Modern day is just on a different level. So I love getting players from that program. Of course, we got a kid in Xavier Brown who I think he could potentially start. I think he can. I think he has a great chance to do it. If not this year, next year. I think that kid's going to be a stud. And I can't wait for it. But this is another thing I talked about, Coach Sean. I told, what do we talk about? These West Coast kids being interested now. These West Coast kids getting a lot more interested now because of Kalen DeBoer's background, because of the coaching staff that he's hired that's familiar around this, right? I think Abdul Sanders, I think, was pretty familiar around with Kalen DeBoer. They're all on the West Coast. They recruit that Pacific Northwest, West Coast, Southern Cali type region. And so a lot of these kids from these areas, they're familiar. They know who Kalen DeBoer, they know who the staff is, and that's an advantage for us. That's a big advantage, coming for us. So, it's coming into fruition where he can recruit the South, he can recruit the West Coast area. It just means that he's that Kalen DeBoer can form together a staff that's very versatile and not just stuck with one particular region. And to win a national championship, you need to have that. Something that Nick Saban was really great at.
All facts, man. I could not have said it better. The fact that these West Coast kids, and it's the top West Coast kids, are super interested in coming across country to Alabama. What it's doing is it's putting us on a map that we really hadn't dubbed our toe in a lot, right? We've gotten some West Coast kids, a la Najee Harris, right? Mm-hmm. But we really just hadn't had to go that far. Bryce, Najee, Tua, if you will, Hawaii. But the top kids up there are definitely looking at Bama right now. And so that is amazing. I've been on Xavier for a long time. You can look at the videos. I've been on Xavier for quite some time now. I think he's going to be Jaleel Hurley's biggest competition on that side. Opposite Damani Jackson. So I really am happy these kids are interested in Bama, along with getting top Southern kids still. When it comes to those trenches, I'd like to get those Southern kids, those
you want those dudes.
Bama, Georgia, those kids down south, those big earth movers, if you will, that practice football year round. So it's a good mixture of West Coast talent and down south talent. And man, I'm ecstatic about it. Eric D also says, Coach J says, Coach Sean, I've been working my ass off, but that's about to change for a few weeks. I'm gonna start getting ready for A-Day. Shout out to you, Eric D. Get that paper, man.
You, Eric.
Get that paper. I know how that go, break 3:45 every morning, buddy. I get you. Hey, shout out to you, Eric D. We got Antoine Currington, the brother Antoine Currington. Shout out to Antoine, man, one of the best that's in here, one of the leaders of this chat. Antoine Currington with a $20 super chat. Good evening to the undefeated ladies of the chat. Auntie J, Quay, Kim, Monica, Keita, and wherever Caitlin is at. All facts, Antoine. Shout out to the ladies of the undefeated. I love them to death. They always tap in with us. The brothers of the undefeated, right? The whole undefeated as a whole, man. Thank you, Antoine, for that $20 super chat. I can promise you, me and Coach J and the entire staff appreciate you for that, brother. So, transcending into this, Coach J, I read what's up, Caitlin? How you doing? I didn't even see you.
Caitlin.
Bro, Caitlin Ingle. Yeah. I read where the kids had sort of changed their diet up. Javian Smith, what's up with you, bro? How you feeling, man? I read where they got with the strength and conditioning coordinator and they changed their diet. JC spoke about it. Tyler Booker spoke about it. Kool-Aid spoke about it. I listened to all three. And JC was talking about how he's been on a lot of water, a lot of chicken, a lot of rice, asparagus, vegetables.
There
And
you
the other
go.
two guys, yeah, the other two
He's
guys
trying
were
to get
talking about,
lean.
yeah,
There
man,
he
trying to
is.
get, he did. JC was huge, man.
Mm-hmm.
That belly wasn't sticking out. That cat was just girthy, right? For a tackle, right? So to see these guys that play offensive line getting on this type of regiment, that's good weight. That'll get rid of that bad weight, that flabbergast weight, and turn that weight into. I'll tell you one guy that don't need to change nothing, and that's Jaden Roberts. He already looked like he'd been on some type of Tybo from back in the day. You know what I mean? Jaden Roberts is a monster, bro, aka the Black Hulk. You know what I mean? So to see our offensive linemen really, really, really taking the necessary steps, man, to get in shape, because remember, this offensive line that they ran in Washington had they did a lot of pin and pull. I told you on
Mm-hmm.
a previous video, I seen these guys pulling from the center position, from the guard position, the tackle position. These guys were cross pulling. You know what I mean? We did some of that, but not a lot of that at all, right? These guys were getting out there on the edge quick, right? So I even seen them run a trap against Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
An offensive line. Like, we don't do that at Alabama. It's more burly, power, man on man, even sometimes zone blocking, right? Down blocking. These guys were pulling a lot of misdirection, a lot of things to deal with, make the linebackers see a lot of eye candy, right? A lot of things on the perimeter, getting the center. I seen Parker Brailsford pull on a play, right? And take out the defensive end. I was like, wow, and he was moving a center coming straight down the line, man. So I was very, very impressed with Washington's offensive line to see these guys, you know, correcting their eating habits, and that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Anybody will tell you, when you're that big of a human being, when you're an earth mover like that, you got to change the eating habits before you can do anything, right? You change the eating habits, you change the weight room habits, you change the cardio habits, and that's when that good weight will come off and turn into, that's when that bad weight will come off and turn to good weight. So I was really, really, really proud of that, Coach Jay. What do you think about that offensive line?
No, you're good. No, you're right. You're right. And for a second, I mean, I had to really, if you really think about it, I mean, you look at Washington's offensive line last year, and first name that pops up to me is a Troy Fautanu. Troy Fautanu, guys, is going to be a first round pick, and the reason why he's going to be a first round pick is because he is one of the best pulling offensive linemen, regardless of position, because he can play guard and tackle. Right? Yeah. You literally can draft him. You want to put him in slide, you put it inside, great. And yes, he can run a zone scheme, but for the most part, he's one of the best pulling offensive linemen in the country. Great in pin and pulls, like Coach Sean said, they do run trap, where he's really, really good in those particular areas. But he can down block. Yeah. That's one thing I like about this offensive line scheme. It is very versatile. They don't. It's not just one based off. They can run some zone scheme. They can run power if they, if you want them to run power, but they can also pull. And for the most part, this offensive line has to be athletic. It has to be athletic. All their offensive line was athletic, and that's why when a lot of people kind of say, well, Washington's offensive line was small. It was very, very small. Well, I mean, I watched that same Washington offensive line dominate Texas. And Facts. Texas has Byron Murphy, Tavondre Sweat. I've seen Parker Brailsford beat the brakes of a Tavondre Sweat. A 270-pound offensive center beat him, and he didn't have that much help. That was if you go back and watch that game, he didn't have that much help. It wasn't just any doubles. It was a lot, for the most part, I would say like around maybe 40, a little bit more than over 40% of the reps. It was simply Parker against him. And so, this is an offensive line that is extremely versatile, but they can also hold their own, right? I think we take a look at that Michigan game, which, by the way, Michigan's defensive line whipped everybody. Yeah. They just did. They whipped everybody. It's a culmination. They have a culmination of size, speed, and they're also very, very well. They're disciplined as hell. They're well taught. And so I think we take a look at the game against Washington, and I feel like, we underestimate just how good, Washington's offensive line actually were. There's a reason why they had a Joe Moore award-winning offensive line. There's a reason why that happened. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for what these guys are. Again, this is a much more talented group. And when you have guys like Jalen Roberts, who looks lean as all hell, when you have guys like a Tyler Booker, who we all know that dude, in a power zone scheme could ball. He's a people mover. But to get him down to size, and I don't know what the weight requirement actually is, but if he can lose around 15, 20 pounds, and he can get a lot more leaner, where he could be able to kind of follow the blocking scheme that Washington ran, that's only going to make him a lot better. And so, now that you have Caden Proctor back, you have Caden Proctor back. He's normally 360. Yeah. That's his playing weight. I don't know what he is when it comes to his offseason nutrition. He might actually be a little bit bigger right now, to be honest. What's going to be the goal for Caden Proctor, right? You want to get him down to at least 340. You want to get him down to 340. Wilkin. I think Wilkin's kind of fine. Wilkin's pretty. He has a pretty athletic set. Ola's Alien, the same thing. I think Miles McVay, you can kind of bring him down. But yeah, like strength and conditioning and dieting, it is a big part when it comes to this offensive line, because this offensive line will be moving a lot. They're not just going to be, they're not going to just be blocking. They're just not going to be doing down blocks and simply following a power slash zone scheme. This is going to be a pen and pull sort of offense where this offensive line is going to be running around.
That's a whole fact. You want to get that Jay Townsend, Coach Jay?
Like absolute crazy.
Can't say it.
Oh. There we go. All right, there we go. There we get back. Did we get the super chat, Coach Sean?
No, I want to let you get the Jay Townsend one. You go ahead and catch that.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so Jay Townsend with the $20 super chat says the stars excite us a lot, but we need to pay attention to the talent that DeBoer is bringing. That of course that Coach DeBoer is recruiting. Many of them will probably end up with earning that 5-star. Yeah, you're right, and I think that for the most part, even if you don't see it with these rankings, again, a lot of that development, trust me, can translate on the football field. We've seen plenty of examples. There are more NFL Pro Bowlers and All-Pros that are 3-star guys compared to 5 stars that were rated by 24/7 Sports, Rivals, and ESPN. So it's all about development at the end of the day. Now, talent does matter, right? Getting a lot more talent, that does matter, because when you get talent that that could reach their potential, I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, there's a reason why we won a bunch of national titles. But I agree with you. I mean, I think a lot of people, even now, are underestimating our class. A lot of people are not impressed with how we got back-to-back commitments. But it is what it is. Haters are going to hate about it. We can control only what we can control. And, at the end of the day, we know what's up. We know what's up, and we know the type of players that Kalen DeBoer and this coaching staff wants to bring in. I think he's doing a hell of a job.
That's a whole fact, Coach Jay. Shout out to Jay Townsend. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate you, bro. One of the leaders of this chat as well. Thank you, man. High Power TV with the $2 super chat. How many offensive tackles will we target after spring? That's a good question, High Power, man. I think it depends on spring, if you ask my humble opinion. Sure, we got some young talent. We got some great young talent that's doing really, really, really well. But just me personally, I hadn't seen them playing the game. So I love the videos of working out and all that. It's just me though. Mm-hmm. I got to see you play in the game. I have to see you when those blitzes are coming. Are you going to pick up those blitzes and stunts and twists and things of that nature? I need to see you in a game. So I think the spring will give them a small sample size of what they need, right? Are we good at tackle, or do we need to go back and get another one? What you think, Coach Jay?
Yeah, it's all dependent what happens in the spring game. Thanks. We seen like last year, we seen what happened with Elijah Pritchett. Like Elijah Pritchett got destroyed last year, and I think pretty much everybody knew. Okay, Caden Proctor. Let's see what he looks like with the second team. Look good. And did he work at? I think he was actually worked as a guard. I don't even think he really was a tackle. He might have. I forgot, but I know he had a really, really good spring game. Yeah. And with going to get the second team, and I think we all knew, okay, that dude's probably going to be a day one starter. Yeah. And it happened, right? We don't, we don't like to take too much into account with spring, but trench warfare matters. That's one thing that I think does matter. Matter of fact, I actually thought it was a bad thing, for 2 years in a row where our defense was kicking the life out of the offensive line. A lot of people thought, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Defense is going to look all time great. And then all of a sudden, you find out, no, it's not because the defense was that great. It was because the offensive line was just that bad. And so I would like to see a change of pace. I want to see this offense take care of the defense. I talked about this earlier. This would be a year where let me get the offense to carry the defense. Give me, as long as you can give me a great offensive line, and as long as you give me a great offensive line, everything else will take care of itself, right? Everything will take care of itself. So obviously, yeah. I mean, now that you add Caden Proctor, it helps the depth chart. This is a guy that was a starter and honestly could, and honestly can take back that starting job. But you still got to answer what's going to happen at right tackle. Is Booker going to stay at guard? Can you kick him out? Because I know he's got a lot of playing experience playing there at IMG Academy. So there's still question marks because yes, we love the loyalty and we want to keep that loyalty. And Miles McVay, Alien and Pritchett and Formby and the rest of those guys, they were here. But if they don't display on the field, then yeah, you may have to look at the portal and say we may have to just look at a different option. And that may cause players to get pissed off, and that may cause other offensive linemen to leave as well. But at the end of the day, we have honestly struggled at tackle for 3 years. It may not be at both sides, but there's at least been it's either been sometimes at left tackle or maybe at right tackle. We have struggled at tackle for 3 years. And so that's something that has got to get fixed. Something that's got to get better because ever since that 2020 season, we have not recovered. We've had to go to the transfer portal, look for a tackle. We've had to play true freshmen at tackle in order for that to work. I think Jonah Williams.
Yeah.
I think Jonah Williams was the last guy that started that tackle. That was a true freshman. So, you got to get that position right. Got to get that position right because it was a detriment last year, especially again, Caden Proctor made some strides. He also struggled a lot last year. Yeah. Looked like a true freshman. So we got to get. So now that you lose a guy like J.C. Latham, you're now going to replace first round value at right tackle, and we don't know if Caden Proctor is even going to improve, or maybe he might improve, but he may not improve to a level where we think he can be. So. This offensive line has question marks, guys. I think that's the biggest hole of this team right now is tackle. And so we may actually have to go to the portal to look for one.
Shout out to Travel Peniel Sportscast. What's up with you, Travel? How you doing, bro? Good to see you in here, man, for sure. Shout out to Jeremy Fleming for the $5 super chat. Just a quick roll tide, y'all. Thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate everybody who donated. Thank all of you. We appreciate that. Roll tide back to you, Jeremy. Al, this is to Al. Al, you appreciate this, man, because Coach J is a master at that pin and pull, man. He's a master at it, bro. I did a lot of research. I looked around at a lot of game tape, but I watched the entire Oregon game with Washington, both of them, right? And it's just my humble opinion, man. When I look at their offense really quickly and their offensive line scheme, they run a complicated run scheme, believe it or not, man. Believe it or not, there's a lot of complexity in their run scheme. I said this before. A lot of misdirection, right? A lot of misdirection. Athletic offensive linemen. I seen them run counter, Al, in a variety of ways. And what I told them what counter means is you can run one play 7 different ways, right? I seen them, and remember, this is without the pass options. We ain't even including the pass options yet. I seen these people, man, run counter with the guard and the tight end. I seen them run counter with the guard and the tackle. I even seen them run counter with the center and the tackle, all of which can be what we call wrapped, right? These dudes, they run a lot of truck sweeps, a lot of misdirectional things, cross bucks out of the shotgun. And see, when you do that kind of stuff, a lot of defenses don't penetrate immediately, right? When you run a lot of those type of misdirectional things, the defenses just can't penetrate like you think they would. You want to manipulate linebackers and do things like that and make them hesitate. You want to stretch them, get their eyes in the wrong direction, seeing a lot of different things. Washington is masters of that stuff, man. And anytime you can run counter like that, you got an opportunity to catch some people on the wrong side and use some resources and have some numbers in your favor. Jay Towns with a $10 super chat says, Coach Jay, I agree with you 100%. development is definitely more important than the stars. Bama had 3 stars in the past who earned first and second ratings in the NFL. DeBoer would develop players. That's a whole fact. I agree. 1,000%, man. Development is key on any football team. If you ask me, that's a whole fact, Jay. Whole fact, Coach Jay and Jay Townsend. But again, Coach Jay, this offensive line that they run, the things that they do, the run schemes are adaptable with the offensive line play and the misdirectional things that they do, and you couple that with the pass options and I guess I should say a more than capable, competent quarterback. Man, look out, Coach Jay.
Crimson Blood 22 with the 222 dollar super chat. He says, Coach Jay is so authentic. Thank you. Appreciate you so much, Crimson Blood, man. You already know I got love for you as always. But you're right. I mean, for the most part, I mean, hell, they even ran freaking trap on zone reads. Like they ran a lot of just weird exotic looks, especially when it comes to their blocking scheme. So Washington, yeah, you're right. Washington are masters. They are masters, and we didn't even talk about the receiving concepts. The receiving concepts are ridiculous when it comes to overall just identifying a receiver's strength and putting that player in the best possible situation in this offense. It's crazy. So but the offensive line's got to get fixed. That's the biggest weakness you can make an argument it's the biggest weakness on this team. I don't mind if the defense has a down year. I don't mind it because I think pretty much. I think Coach Shaw, you can agree with this. We had the expectation of that the defense was going to be great. We had that expectation. Now the offense we thought was going to be a little bit better than what it actually was. Ultimately, in the midpoint of the season, they did get better, but defensively, they carried the offense. They did. They carried the team. They kept us in a lot of fights and a lot of battles. And you lost a lot of talent because of it, right? A lot of it to the transfer portal, a lot of it to the draft. And if you end up having a down year, that's fine. I've seen Washington go to a national championship with a subpar defense. So if the offense, it's now time for the offense to step up. It's been 3 years where, yes, our offense they haven't been bad, but they haven't been great. And that's one thing that I think you need to have. You either have to have a dominant offensive line, because Michigan's offense wasn't great either, but their offensive line was dominant and the quarterback was efficient, right? He didn't throw for 4,000 yards passing, but he was efficient. It looked like a 2012. It honestly looked like 2012 AJ McCarron Alabama offensive line when they had DJ Fluker and Chance Warmack and Cyrus Kwanjo. He was another true freshman that started at tackle. Right? A lot of those guys there, right? Barrett Jones, that's another kind of player. Like that's what it looked like. The offensive line was dominant, the defensive line was dominant. Their secondary linebacking play was just disciplined, efficient. That's something that if you don't have that, then you got to have an elite offense. You got to find some way to not just have your offense to be efficient, but the quarterback's got to go ahead and make plays. And I think that this is an offense that overall can support having an elite, type of mentality, elite type of set. So we got the playmakers. We have arguably the best interior offensive line in the country. Now, we have a running game that I believe is going to get way better because of the quality of running back that I think is going to start this year with Justice Haynes finally getting his opportunity. And, we have weapons upon weapons on days at receiver and tight end. So the only question mark I think I have is what's going to happen at tackle, and can Milrose step up and be elite? Because we all know he's good. Can he be elite? And if those questions can be answered in a positive light, Alabama's going to be a great football team. If not, then I don't know. How can we be elite? What can take us to the next step of winning a national title? Because they were just small things, small details that mattered in that Michigan game that we've talked about for the entirety of the season that finally cost us. We knew it. Yeah. And so we're at the cusp again, but we just got to once again clean up these areas, clean up the mistakes that we know are that we know could potentially be a plague. And if we can do that, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Shout out to Casey Jones. Casey Jones with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Casey. Says, Coach Sean, you are authentic. By the way, I went to Ensley High School. Okay, Casey. Thank you for that, Casey. I appreciate you, man. Coach Jay and I both, we try. We just try to bring it to you guys as simple and as plain as we can. We are where we are, and that's all that we are, right? Thank you, Casey. I thank my partner Bear in the chat. Roundtable Sports Podcast TV. He went to Inslee as well. Shout out to you, man. My partner, rest in peace, Watanji Adams. We called him Watt. Went to Inslee as well, man. Rest in peace to my brother Watt, Alabama A&M University, man. Hopkins Hall crew forever. Love that man. But shout out to you, Casey, and thank you for that $10 super chat. Roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide. But I agree with you, Coach Jay. It's a lot of things that I guess we can say now because the season is over. I'll just put it out there like that, because a lot of those coaches are not even on this roster anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We got out coached several times last year, guys.
Yep.
When I say out coached, I'm talking about team doing schemes and things that we just seem like we wasn't ready for. I'll even go back a year for you. The LSU game at LSU, Jaden Daniels' first year, when we lost to them in overtime, we got out coached in the second half of that game.
We had one defensive tackle. We had one nose tackle, and you brought everybody back.
Yes.
Just disgusting, yeah.
Man, it was so many things, guys, that and I give Michigan credit because Michigan is the epitome of a team that knew who they are. I guess that's the best way to say it. Coach Jay, Michigan knew who they were, and they didn't stray from it, right? They made us play their game to a certain degree, and they stuck to what they do. Michigan didn't try to come out and turn J.J. McCarthy into Peyton Manning like we've done in games. Michigan stayed the course. Even when we stopped them, they never panicked. So that showed me that team was a mature team. They were great. We all know that. But Michigan, to me, was the most mature team that we played all season because they did not change. When things went bad for them, they never panicked, right? I saw them do the same thing in the Washington game. So that's, to me, showed signs of a team that had older players, right? Kind of like we were when we played Ohio State in the COVID year, when Devontae came back and Najee came back and all these great players came back to school. And, those kinds of things matter, man. Those kinds of things matter when the lights come on. You want players that understand bigger moments, understand you can't make mistakes. That's why I'm so excited for Malachi Moore this year. So, in a nutshell, I'm very excited about this offense. I'm very excited about this team. We're going to be young in some places, but just like Coach Jay said, the sky's the limit for this team. The sky's the limit. And, I think we will right all wrongs. What you think, Coach Jay?
Yeah, I think the one because usually the one concern, and again, I think this can be another concern. It is finding our identity because this is going to be a team where we're going to have to look for a different identity. We got to look for a different identity, both offensively and defensively. And so, how quick can we realize as a team this is who we truly are? This is who we are. This is what we're trying to do. And if we can find a way to master this, because we got to master it. If we can find a way to master this quickly and stick with that and stick with that philosophy, then I think the sky is the limit. Because yeah, you're right, Michigan. What Jim Harbaugh did with that team, that's who they were for the last 10 years since Jim Harbaugh. They didn't really change that much.
That's a fact. That's the whole fact, man.
When they made the playoffs, when they had I forgot. He was our receivers coach. I forgot what was he was our receivers coach. Then he went to Michigan. I forgot what his name. Wiggins. Was
the same guy went to Miami. Right. Goodness, man.
When he was
forgot his name. Yeah, light skinned guy. I forgot his name, man.
Josh
Gaddis. I know. Yeah. Josh Gaddis.
When Gaddis was their offensive coordinator, they became a finesse team, right? They started to do a lot more finesse. They started to do a lot more misdirection. They just did a lot of things that were a lot more uncharacteristic, a lot more jet sweeps. right, running a crap ton of motion, a lot more motion than they ran the last 20 years since they've been there. And even though they improved offensively, Jim Harbaugh hated it. He hated it because that's not who they were as a team. That's not the players that they recruited to fit that scheme, to fit the scheme that Josh Gaddis wanted to run. And so Josh Gaddis won Assistant Coach of the Year, and they scored a lot of points, but ultimately it didn't get the job done. And so you seen as soon as he went to Miami, and they brought in and they brought in Coach Moore. Coach Moore, I mean, that offense was more efficient than they've ever been because Coach Moore understood exactly what Jim Harbaugh wanted to run. He understood exactly what he wanted, what he liked. And those players that they recruited, those the transfers that they were able to bring, it was a very easy transition for those players. And heck, I mean, look what they did with their strength and conditioning program. Like Blake Corum, who came off of a torn ACL, he added 10 pounds of muscle because they knew that he wasn't going to be fast. But the one thing they wanted him to do, they wanted him to run in between the tackles. They said, this is a year. They said, you know what, we're not going to stretch you out. We're going to make you run in between the tackles. We're going to help you gain 10 pounds of muscle. And you're going to get around 20 to 25. You're going to get over 25 carries a game. And he had the most carries he's ever had in his career. Even if you kind of track to when he got hurt last year, that was double the amount of carries. And his yards per carry went down. And the time of possession was even more, like the time of possession as far as scoring was even slower than what it was offensively. Why? Because they went back to something that they were used to doing and what Jim Harbaugh was doing his entire career with Stanford, doing his entire career with the San Francisco 49ers and San Diego State. He brought that over to Michigan. He had a coaching staff for both offensively and defensively that realized what Jim Harbaugh wanted to do. They all came to an agreement. The players understood it. And, you take into account the amount of veteran leadership that was on that roster. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was mature. It was just maturity. And because of that, at the end of the day, they ended up winning a national championship and just made the plays necessary to do it simply because of their identity. And if we're going to go back there, if we want to win a national championship, we got to realize we are as quick as possible. And if we can, the sky is going to be the limit for this team. What's up, Coach Morrell?
What's up, Mirror?
What's up, everybody? Coach Jay, Coach Sean.
Cracking,
man, I love it,
bro.
man.
How you feeling?
Good stuff tonight.
Yeah, man. We was answering questions and talking to the chat. I answered this same question. Randall was talking. I was answering the same. I think I answered this before to people who was inboxing me, and they was asking me about do we expect our defensive linemen to two gap, and I was trying to tell them that you don't two gap, not necessarily. Now you can dress this thing up all you want. You don't two gap in the even front, right? It's even spacing in a even front. I guess that's the best way to say it. Mm-hmm. Each in the even front, now I'm the offensive guy, but basic principle is each guy is responsible for one gap. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of two gapping in an even front. Now, if you in an odd front, a 30 front, anything with three, if you're in an odd front,
then you can double it. But if you're in an even, for the most part, I mean, you got gap responsibility.
Facts. That's kind of the basic principle.
And it's tough too, having if you play with the odd front too, because Bama ran that 3-4. Basically, it's funny because we heard Miller kind of confirm that for those of you checked in live with Kyle and Smook at the field today. Was pretty cool. We got to see one of the former players, amazing, right? Like with Miller showing up, saying what's up, and he kind of confirmed a little bit about that. And Crimson Blood, what up, man? Coach Mel is Johnny Cash cool. I appreciate that, man, with that $2 and $22 super chat, man. 100%. That's super cool. Appreciate you. So, but yeah, he kind of confirmed basically what's being ran from a standpoint that there are a few differences, but not a ton of differences, and that it makes the transition a lot easier. It's funny because I had actually brought this up when breaking down the defense to maybe a month or two ago. When I first kind of had gotten on with you guys here on Bama Football on YouTube, as I talked about it, it's a zone drop read, right? Type of defense. So it's cool to hear. Obviously, you got a guy who's on the field who gets to see it, and they can confirm that. So, but that playing a two gap defense, especially for the D line guys, that's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
You know, you're sticking and then you're figuring out which way you're going to go. So you're sticking, holding, and then deciding which gap you play. Now, it helps when you also have a stunt or a twist, right? Because that allows you to kind of have an idea which way you're going to go. You're allowed to play a little more free that way. But what does help with this defense freedom-wise for some of these guys, and why I think you'll see like this D-line really excel, I mean, we need them to, regardless. We can't just see them; they have to do it. If they don't, it's going to be a problem. But I truly don't think we're going to have that issue, because now they have their single gap technique, and they're going to focus on that gap control and go from there. Whoever that nose tackle ends up being, it'll be interesting to hear who's. I don't know. Did you guys hear who is maybe who they've seen playing that main role in practice yet? I haven't heard who's playing that nose tackle.
I hadn't heard. I would assume an assumption. Maybe Tim Keenan. Maybe. What's up, Coach Mook?
Coach Mook, who's playing that nose tackle?
Where?
Yeah, right,
you got Keenan and who's number 33? I keep forgetting.
Let me check because I just had to pull up that roster for this. See the numbers.
33.
Let me go down here. 33. I mean, it's so interesting when you hear these numbers now too, because they're not traditional.
Yeah, we got players changing the jerseys. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, Hunter Osborne. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. From Hewitt Trustful, baby.
Osborne.
Huskies.
Hunter Osborne? Really?
Yes.
Hunter Osborne, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
like
boys
that.
seen it, Sean and Jay. Shouts out to everybody that's here in the chat real quick. But we're gonna talk amongst each other. Y'all just enjoy the conversation for a little while. We put this thing on the timeout real quick because we ain't had something like this in a minute. First of all, the coaches haven't been on the scene at the same time, right? On the screen. Everybody been asking for it. We snuck in here to do this on purpose. And then y'all know we've been waiting for Jake to be back. So this is crazy. But so kind of just want to dialogue with y'all for about 5-10 minutes about how everything's looking with the practice. So today, y'all said defensive tackle, it was Tim Keenan at tackle looked like, and it looked like they weren't in alignment, it was drills. But the way that they were working, Keenan was working on one of the edge bags, and Osborne was working on the center bag, on the center sled. So you know that's kind of like that leverage. You know, they were doing the power drill from the knees, thrusting the power through. But you also had on another group, you had Tim Smith and Curtis Perry working like speed jabs on one side. So and the defensive line group is so deep, man. Like I'm losing track of how many people like we actually have on that D line, bro.
Yeah. Now, can you guys hear me? Okay, is everything good?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just making sure because my mic was being a little weird there. But no, I mean that's it, man. You just made a heck of a point though with this D line group. It is extremely deep. That's how come I'm not worried from a standpoint, like if anybody sits there, because you have to understand with this defense, 4-2-5 swarm D, 3-4 nickel, because that's basically the same thing, right now. Is with it though, especially with the 4-2-5, your anchor is that nose tackle, right? That dude is he is really key to being such a gap plugger. So if you have any concerns, you're like sitting there going, okay, well, who is going to be that guy for us? The depth here is so it's nice. It's great having the depth that we have. I mean, let's be honest with you guys. Like I haven't brought this name up. I don't think many people do bring this name up, but Hunter Osborne, right, coming out of Hewitt Trustful High School, like the Huskies. That's why I give him a shout out right there, man. And I love Trustful. Trustful's beautiful, by the way. But man, that's like this guy. This is what I'm talking about. We are going to see names that have not been dropped in the media, have not been talked about in these articles. These guys are going to show up out of nowhere, and everyone's going to be like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I didn't even think about that. Why didn't I think about that?" Because this defense is going to allow guys to excel, right?
I can tell you this, Miro, based off of that, man. You know, I get excited with the defense, but I get super excited by the offense, bro. Right?
Oh no!
You know, man, when I watch this defense, we got so many different people that can play so many different positions, right? So many that I lose track sometimes. But this is what I'm excited about. This is what I'm excited about. And Coach Smook already noticed. I told him this a couple of times. I probably already talked about it. I get excited on plays, right? I watch a game and I'll say, okay, that was a nice play. But the ones that really work well, bro, I'll go back and watch it. I'll write it down. Like, I'm gonna use this next time I coach. Bro, I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you since I got all y'all here. Coach Jay, especially, I gotta tell you this, man. I watched when they played Oregon. This was the first time they played Oregon. And bro, listen, it was so great. Washington ran. This is probably my favorite play I've seen all season long, even above ours, right? Okay. Washington had like a bunch formation, right, to the field side, right, like a little bunch formation to the field side, and Oregon kept trying to bracket them and match them smooth. You know, they kept trying to have numbers 4-3, like they kept trying to have more defenders. To cover the receiver. I talked about this before, and I recorded it, bro. I recorded it. So what happened was Washington, in turn, runs a pin and pull, bro.
Yeah.
Run a pin and pull back to the damn boundary side, right? It's less count. It's less count over there, right?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Bro, find that play.
The running back cuts back for about 30 yards, man, and sets up that first score, which ended up leading them to a touchdown. It was so great when I seen the line pulling. I'm like, damn, their line is like that, bro. I got so excited when I seen it because I hadn't seen Bama do that since Mike Loxley was here. To be honest with you,
Sean, just imagine, and this is the lineup I seen today. Just imagine this lineup pulling that play, right? Your left tackle, Elijah Pritchett. Left guard, Tyler Booker. Center, Parker Brailsford. Right guard, Jaden Roberts.
Yeah.
And right tackle, somebody that I was literally what I just told you about. I said we tagged him in the video when he was out there dunking last week. Miles McVay.
Yeah.
With the first group, right tackle. Imagine them pulling to his side. The way he gets out there and get aggressive.
Man,
come on. Jay, you know, Jay, you know how big I've been on Wilkin and Miles, man. Just imagine Miles getting out there in space and Tyler Booker pulling from the opposite with Parker Brailsford. The three pin and pull when they slide and everything shifting left and they pull those three guys, and then even to your point, Sean, when they have the twins, the bunch set with the tight end in the slot.
Okay.
And oh my God, that look, just imagine that same pin and pull look, and you got the likes of CJ Dupree or Robbie Oots coming in for that little read option look.
Yes.
Man, like Kalen DeBoer and this staff, they about to have so much fun with all this talent that they have on this offensive side.
Hell, when they were in 14, this is like 2 years ago. Hell, when they were in 14, dog, they were freaking running pin and pull with freaking tight ends.
Really?
Tight ends. Yeah.
Yep.
Bro.
I mean, these guys move. That's what I was saying. Yeah. This is what I talked about when I did that video with Ty on the offensive line. Like why I talked about these guys being in a position with their bodies. And you can see it in the targets they're going after right now in the recruiting classes. I'm going to tell you that right now. Look at the offensive tackles they are targeting. Look at the way these interior linemen that they're targeting. Watch how they move.
And not only that, but look at the anatomical makeup. They have have a look that they want when it comes. Even look at the edges we're recruiting. Most of these edges back in Saban's time, they come in here to play running back, or they might get moved to tight end. No. Womack and Robinson, they're going to the edge. Duke Johnson, everybody's like, man, he might have to play strong safety. No. Christian Miller came in and backed it up. My thought process on why they're recruiting guys that is, I don't know if y'all seen it. Christian Miller joined me and Kyle for the post-practice presser, right? It was pretty lit. And literally everything that our panel has been saying about the makeup of this defense, they calling it a 4-2-5, still the same conceptual basis of what Coach Saban ran. It was base nickel. Personnel is the only thing that's changing. Concept, very little change. Only thing you're seeing now, not as much gap contain, not as much gap scheme. And on the back end, you're talking about drop, react. That's what you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of cover 3 match. You're going to see a lot of Coach T. I mean, and it's funny. I'm glad that we're all here. Coach Jay, Coach Sean, Coach Jake, Coach Smoot. We're coaches. We know what the hell we talking about. So anybody that got a question about what we be bringing to the table, Go turn on some of these greats. George Teague is is he a Hall of Fame corner? I mean,
Dude, yeah,
one of the best
He
to ever
should
come
be
through
if he's
Bama.
not.
You
He
know what I'm
should be if
saying?
he's not.
100.
Christian Miller, somebody who played and has all the accolades you can ask for as a 2-year starter under Coach Saban, came in literally. I thought I was I think I almost told him, I said, you must be watching our shows. Because he literally echoed everything we've been saying. So everybody that's been coming for the Bama Football on YouTube staff, pull yourself in timeout like we had to do Steven earlier today. Shout out to my boy Steven. Put yourself in timeout. Come back next week and just listen a little bit. We want y'all to be on point so y'all don't be like some of these other fan bases that just be running their mouth, speaking whatever, talking about Madden style football. No, this is real football. We want y'all to show up to the games, pull up in front of your TV, and when you see a play happening, whether it's positive or negative, you know why it happened. You could look back, oh, left guard didn't cut, left guard didn't slide, or on the other side of the ball, free safety bit underneath when he should have stayed over top. Should have let Husky or Rover drop back into their depth. He shouldn't have pushed. He shouldn't have bumped that coverage. He shouldn't have passed that route off. He should have rolled, because you're understanding what we're teaching you. So appreciate it. That's all I want to say. I want to give my boys their flowers because they've been killing it. We've been killing it.
Let me ask this before we get up out of here, Coach Jay. What you think about that pin and pull with these centers and this offensive line?
Oh, it's about to be nuts, man. It's about to be nuts. And like I said, we talked about this before, man. But Troy, I'm telling you guys, if you guys have that opportunity, please put on some tape of Troy Fautano, because he's going to be a first. Jake knows. That's a first-round pick, man.
Oh, yes.
And that's a dude that had to go through a crazy body transformation just for Jake. What's the best thing? What's the best thing about Troy that everyone's talking about? That's gonna make him a first-round pick. His feet, his quickness,
his
and his
ability to move.
The best feet in the class, right?
Yeah.
Because why? Because they run a crap ton of it. They run a crap ton of pin and pull, and he can play. He plays both. Right. They got him as a tackle, but he can play as an inside guard. He plays as an inside guard. They had him at tackle. In some formations, they had him there, and just his overall ability to just overall seal the edge when he's pulling is just ridiculous. And Parker Brailsford, we all know Parker Brailsford, 270 pounds, but there's a reason why they didn't buff him up to 295 or 300. There's a reason why they didn't do it.
James Brockemeyer,
guys there.
James Brockemeyer is down to 280. Like, they're not looking for no
they're
big
dropping weight. They're not adding it all.
Yes. Center, you don't got to be big. You don't got to be big to play center.
Not at all. Even in the old style. But you know what's crazy, y'all? I'm gonna say this. There's a interior offensive lineman that Alabama has a target. Shout out to Juvie86 with the $10 super chat. He said, "Yo, what's good, fellas? How y'all doing tonight? Undefeated. What's good, crew? How y'all doing tonight? Oh yeah, I ordered my undefeated today. I'm ready to rock it. Listen, nice. I got mine on the way too. I think we're gonna be so deep at A-Day, y'all. It's gonna be crazy. People gonna be trying to. If we leave A-Day, I think by the end of A-Day we might end up being at 120,000 subscribers. Like, for real, that's the type of reach. Me and Kyle had a surreal fan moment almost today. We were fans today talking to Christian Miller, right? But then when we left from talking to him, Chris, if you in the chat, tell everybody what's up. We have a viewer in here named Chris. He was pulling up on campus and noticed me and Kyle, and man, I mean, it felt good. Rolled down the window, smooth, Kyle, like that was crazy. Me and Kyle looked at each other afterwards. It was like, man, like it's really happening. The things that we were talking about in our meetings is really happening. But Sasar Alafataya out of Bishop Gorman, whatever, you know how to say his name, Jance. This guy,
Coach Jay knows how to say it.
Yeah, he know. But
listen, these Polynesian names, man, they take their practice. They take
practice. Bro. You know how to say it, Jay.
Jared, you know how to say it.
I don't know, not that
crazy,
one.
bro.
Not that one. I need practice.
But you look at him, you look at his build, 6'3", 290. Usually, we're trying to throw a guy like that at tackle, right? Guess where we're recruiting him to play? Guard. You look at his film, athletic, quick. We was talking about Mal Waldrop earlier. You look at his feet, quick feet. Yeah. Quick feet out of Phoenix City, Central Phoenix City, quick feet. Another guy that they're pushing for, he could play tackle or guard. You look at this offensive line and the range of how they're using these guys. Coach Cap is not playing. He's demanding excellence from the jump. From the walk-ons. He got on the Jaden Roberts today. Jaden Roberts said, "Yes, sir." That's all I heard. Yes, sir. I mean, he ain't giving nobody no slack. Tyler Booker was walking. They made the whole group come back to where they started the drill at. They made them jog back and then made them sprint to the next station. Like, they are not playing, bro. They are not.
One more offensive stat, Miro. I know I'm hitting you with all the offenses, Coach Jake. Let me tell you what I found out. Coach KD's offenses dating back to how you pronounce it? Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
To Fresno, to Indiana, Washington. His offenses has ran motion 65% of the snaps. Now, let me really quickly explain what that means in layman terms. What that means is pre-snap. What the hell ever you're seeing really ain't what you're seeing, right?
That's right, man. Smoke and mirrors, baby.
I want everybody, if you can, to go back and watch the Washington-Oregon game, the first game. I swear to y'all, you're going to see them in 11, 12, 13, 21, and 10 person.
10. All of them, bro.
Yeah. In the same game, bro. So,
and what I'll say to that, too, with Coach Sean, great. These are great points. And the cool part is too is sometimes when you watch these too, because they do a lot of motion, but then they do also a lot of off shift to unbalance everything, right? Yep. And they'll shift personnel into these different positions after the motion, or they'll do it pre-motion, right? Which is crazy. That's the part where it gets real crazy. Is when they do these shifts, formation shift, and then they do a motion. And then they run the play. You know what the brain is going on for the guys watching this? You're trying to process this so fast, and it is so hard. And you know what's beautiful? Just so everybody gets to hear this. That defense they're doing it against, guess who runs that defense? Yes, everybody. Come on. Everybody knows Georgia. Georgia runs that defense. You want to know who that is that he's playing against and kicking their ass while he's doing it? It's Dan Lanning.
Disciple.
Dan Lanning was Georgia's D coordinator.
This is what I was saying.
Stop doubting KD. I don't want to hear any more from anybody.
Jake, this is what I was saying when I said we didn't even highlight that tie. That was like made known when Dan Lanning went there. He's going to take that Georgia style of defense. But I was saying, like, what has always given Nick Saban based or Nick Saban style defenses the most issues? Pre-snap motion and mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, you got both of those in Jalen Milroe. And after today, Sean, Jay, me and Kyle both were watching like, bro, that's not the same Jalen Milroe from last year. Yeah. I mean, bro, the passes, the decisiveness, the delivery of the ball, the mechanics are consistent. One ball out of the 12 or 13 that I saw him throw today touched the ground. And it was not because it was underthrown, and it's not because it was overthrown. CJ Dupree was trying to be pretty. My bad, Jay. And he just coming back from injury too, so he probably just underestimated the timing and the delivery. But Jalen Milroe is, like you said, Coach Sean, like we all been saying, Jalen Milroe is not just the moral leader of this team. He is the top quarterback on this team. I don't care what nobody say. Ty Simpson, 4 or 5 balls hit the ground. Maybe not been all his fault, but they did. He didn't look good until they started doing the perimeter throws. That's what we love about Ty. His perimeter way to delivery. But Milroe is that dude, and I can't wait for him to shut all the doubters up. My guy Adam Lamparello, I love you, but you're gonna have to get off Milroe case this season, bro. He about to put you on blast. Adam Lamparello, fan funder and everything, but you're gonna have to get off Milroe case. He's gonna have you feeling real bad if you still speaking negative on him, because the boy is nasty right now. Locked in.
Coach Smoot.
Go ahead.
Coach Smoot. This I'm telling you, you gonna get me off this, dog. During that Texas game, what did we talk about going into that game? We talk about one of the biggest keys to beating that team: keep Devondre Sweat off the field.
Yeah,
keep him off the field.
Yep, 100.
What did Washington do in that game against Texas? Because of the amount of pre-snap that they kept running, Texas was confused the entire game. They didn't know.
You can't let them go upfield.
It is an offense, man. It is an offense that is meant to spread you out and spread you out horizontally.
Dude, I got something for you.
It is.
Real quick, this guy just made a comment, and J. Cole just made a comment that is perfect for what we're talking about. He goes, I just come home from jiu-jitsu. You want to know the type of fight game that KD is going to put on you? It's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it is a technical game. They beat your ass technically into a submission. That is exactly what is about to happen. Thanks, J. Cole.
Man.
You had a good session, dog.
Yeah.
100.
Man, listen, fellas.
Hey, we need to do this more often, man.
We do,
like
man.
that,
Yeah.
You know what? Let's put the pressure on Kyle and T right now. T in the back. I don't know if they can hear us. Can we do this on Fridays? Can we just get the panel together and just small talk with the chat and just vibe out with the chat on Fridays? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Let's put the pressure on Undefeated. Put the pressure on them.
Get my man Ty in here too.
Hey, Hey, Blaze made an appearance earlier, y'all. Blaze came on the show earlier.
Nice.
Dude, you guys missed it
Blaze?
today. Oh,
Blaze.
man.
Oh, Sean ain't met Blaze Undefeated.
I don't know who the hell Blaze is.
Hey, Blaze got the hair of a god, the voice of an angel. Lithuania could not hold my boy hostage. I was the one that picked him up when they brought him back, right? Took him to the $60 million mansion. They were supposed to be holding him down, holding him hostage. Jay.
Dude, it was intense, man. It was intense.
Jay, you gotta help me keep a straight face when we're telling the story, man. Dang, bro.
Look at that.
I'm not gonna look at
show,
that next time.
Show Kyle that, Smooth.
Hey, didn't know how much we needed the four of y'all together till we got it. Coach J, Coach Sean, Coach Smook, and Coach J Murr, loving it. And then you know what? Ty calls himself the general manager.
Let Ty come in and let Ty be the. Is
that Teddy Long?
The point guard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The point guard. Yeah,
He Courtney Morgan. He Courtney Morgan of the squad. You know what I'm saying?
The point guard.
I was about to call him Teddy Long, man.
Hey, same vibe, same feels. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Janet, appreciate the 1999 super chat. We love you so much. Undefeated. Y'all just don't know. Today was a crazy day. I think this just put the icing on the cake, you know, having us together. I mean, it's hard to let go, but we do got a mission. We got a mission. So we're gonna finish the mission. But I don't think they're gonna be opposed to having us on tomorrow, y'all. So let's
be tell them we have a good time. See if we can get Ty, man, to come in the middle and kind of narrate everything. That way it'll be cool like we're doing now. I'll be on Friday night and be going crazy. Love to get Meryl and Jay in there, man. Get Ty in there in the center.
Hey, the hats are off, man. We take the hats off, man. Take the coaches' hats off, and we get to be fans and do all that and interact. It's a vibe, y'all.
It bring numbers. It be numbers in there, man. On Friday nights, it'd be crazy. Shout out to y'all, brother. Shout out to y'all, man. You guys do an awesome job. Appreciate all y'all. Undefeated. I think I speak for the whole panel when I say you guys are absolutely freaking awesome. Facts. No doubt, man.
100%.
Coach J, I appreciate you for the segment, man. You know what I'm saying?
No problem.
Miro, you and Smook kill it, bro. We're gonna be in the chat, man. Listening as usual, Smook. You already know, bro.
I hit my funny bone. That's not getting funny.
We're gonna be in Ocean Hill. We're gonna be in Ocean Hill side, dog. We're gonna get some of that oil. We're gonna rub it on the back. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get that, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get that going.
Joy,
so
Mr. Rub it on my back.
Rub it on my back.
I wish I
could have seen Jay that day.
When told me,
we brought the commercial back, man.
Meryl,
Jay
said, I already heard, bro. Oh my God. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Hey, what the J stand for?
I had to go back and watch, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Good. That Jergens, man. It's all good.
What the J stand for? Jergens.
Somebody, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Somebody called me ultra healing. So I'm just, people got jokes, man. They got jokes.
Oh, Randall,
right.
That's a good idea.
G14 classified.
Yes. That could be the name of the show. G14 classified.
Yeah, everybody gotta have a cup. Yeah, can't say what's in it. Can't Meryl. We can't say what's in it though, Jay.
What's the rules, Sean? What's the rules before you go?
Rules is you gotta have a cup. You gotta shake it one time to the camera. You know what I mean? And the whole chat got to put emojis in, and you cannot discuss what's inside or the contents that's in your cup.
That's right.
It could be anything from apple juice to some other kind of juice. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Yeah,
got,
Mad
man.
Dog 2020. We're all good.
Yeah,
know?
Shout out to Coach Al Sanders. Shout out to Coach Al, man. Brought great points today.
yeah, y'all. Man, much love, y'all. Let's go
Much
ahead and knock
love,
it out,
man.
man. Let's knock it out, mate.
Roll Tide to you all, brothers.
Roll
Yeah,
Tide.
Coach.
roll tide, fellas.
Roll Tide.
I see that. Look, I seen that. Smooth. She changed her name to Auntie Janet. I seen that. Y'all don't be paying attention. I already peaked game. Auntie Janet is really Auntie Janet, y'all. Let me tell y'all about Auntie Janet. I know she don't mind. Auntie Janet has been such an encouragement to me through this transition. It get lonely being here without my family. Having people like Auntie Janet, Uncle Jay, they really act like Uncle Jay and Auntie Janet. Like, they check in on me, they call me, it be days where I'm just sitting here looking at the wall, trying to figure out what to talk about, or who to talk to, and they'll call me randomly, man. And like, I really thank God for them. So appreciate y'all for being who y'all are, and not just for the channel, but for me and my personal life. Shout out to Uncle Jay coming through. He said, "Hey guys, I'm enjoying this question. Coach KD isn't going to show his hand until the GA game, right?" Hey, I'll let you answer first, because my answer gonna be straight up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you this. Jay is like, when you look at this, the beauty about this offense is that the hand, it's like a new dealer every game.
Every game.
Every game, it's a new dealer. Like, literally, that this offense adjusts so much. That's why right now, when we talk about this week of spring ball, why it's so critical, and we talk about these installations, what is being installed and how aggressive it is being installed. That's why when you hear about the guys on the field right now, like getting a little bit of some ash chewing going on, you want to know why? It's because now you're not just out there moving through fundamental drills and doing some of these little tap, touch, move, tap, touch. Now you have to actually think. So you're mentally exhausted. Your body gets tired. And this is constant. You're studying your butt off because of this install package that comes every day, every period throughout the day. And it's very, very aggressive. It's fun. So.
Yeah. So Uncle Jay, I'm going to say like this. Ain't no such thing as holding back with Kalen DeBoer. One thing we're going to need to get used to is Bama keeping that foot on the pedal. That's what we're going to need to get used to. Ty Simpson come in for pickup time or garbage time, whatever y'all want to call it. Get used to him throwing 10 to 12 passes, 15 maybe. Especially if he coming in third quarter, he might have the same amount of pass attempts as Jalen Milroe or Austin Mack. Or Kalen DeBoer is not opposed to Ty Simpson. Yeah, you're my number 2, but you got the garbage time last week. Let's put Austin out there. Let's let Austin get a series before you go in. Let's see how he goes in. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is that type of team and this type of coaching staff. And I'm excited, Uncle Jay. Like, for real, I really am. I really think we not going to even this season. We won't get to see what this offense is fully capable of, because this is the first season that he's working with a group of guys like this. He alluded to saying, how much talent there is on his roster. Like, he's still daily sorting out how he's going to use guys. Even to the point of this, Jake. Today, one of the reporters asked about the receiving corps.
Okay, yeah.
He said right now there are no positions. There are no positions. We got guys lining up everywhere, learning every spot. And this is something undefeated. Y'all remember we talked about this the other day.
We did.
We talked about we would love to have the ride out group. You remember Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley was the big brother in that group. But then when that group left, when Ridley and Foster left and Waddle came, and then Mechie showed up, y'all remember used to have 5 or 6 receivers, with even Slade Bolden. Slade Bolden would line up at the X, Z, Waddle line up at the X slot. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in this offense right now in the early stages of install and learning the concepts. That's what we want. That's what we want. So I'm excited, man.
Wow, me too.
Jake, let's get into it, man. People have been asking. They said
it's a super chat night, man.
It is, man. Much love. Shout out to man with the $2 super chat. Much love, my guy. Appreciate you. Say you guys are great together. Hey, we're a team, man. No jealousy over here. And I'm gonna be transparent. I love my team. It took me a few weeks to really get used to these guys praising me, y'all. because I came from a different spot that wasn't like this. You know, I was looked at as cocky or attention seeking or whatever. This is my energy. If you hang with me, you might think I'm cocky because I don't meet strangers, first of all. And secondly, I'm aware of everything. You know, my dad always taught me, you don't have to know everything, but know something about, you don't have to know everything about something, but know something about everything. So when I'm around people, I listen, and then I'm able to adjust. I'm able to blend in with whatever crowd. And when it's my turn to step out and really be, you're not unfamiliar with it because I've made myself familiar with you. You get what I'm saying? So I've applied that to this industry in different areas of my life, and it's working. And we got a team that does that. If y'all look at how the team moves, we move alike, y'all.
100.
Different levels, but we move together. We move together.
100. I mean, you can throw anybody with anybody, and honestly, it's the same answer that DeBoer gave to the reporters today when talking about that group. The idea is to be able to put anybody anywhere and still be just as successful, right?
Yep.
Yet you might be a different look, might be something, oh, wait, we haven't seen this before. What is this? What's going to happen? But guess what? It transitions just as smooth. Okay?
Yep.
And that's the beauty of it. And then we can talk about that with Bama football on YouTube and this team here and how amazing everybody does and really much appreciated. I'm the new guy, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm the new guy. And I have been welcomed 100%. And I love that. And I love the guys that I get to work with. And these team up groups, if you jumped on, you saw me and Ty earlier today, and then Smook jumped on with us. And then tonight I have an opportunity to hang out with everybody for a minute and I'll spend it with Smook. It's amazing. So I love it. We have a good time.
Yeah, man. Listen. So I know y'all got questions about today. Y'all seen Kyle. I think that's y'all first time getting to see Kyle in that light. I made sure to catch that little part on camera when he was running over to the. I mean, Kyle takes the jacket off and throws it down and telling the crowd to get up. Like it just felt good to see him in that moment because.
Oh man. When
you're around those other outlets and stuff, and coming from the Saban era, it's like a certain conduct that people are, and me, it's just not in me to be like boxed in. So, and I'm gonna say this, not to try to build no cloud or nothing, but when Courtney Morgan walked in the indoor facility while we were interviewing Coach Kalen DeBoer, I look over there, right, and y'all know I tagged the staff and all this stuff. Any of the staff that follows me. When I look at recruits or whatever, I tag whoever position coach, whatever that evaluates that. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't chasing clout. It's like, coach, check this out. If you just so happen to be on Twitter today and see a notification of being tagged, I want it to be for this. So Courtney Morgan walks in and he notices me from the first interaction we had a week ago. 2 weeks ago. He notices me and we kind of lock eyes and he looks at me. He's like, I was like, gave him the deuces like that. He was like, like he looked at me and said, Sanders. I said, and that was one of the first guys I tagged probably 3 weeks ago. I tagged Courtney Morgan, tagged him in that. He was like Sanders and gave me the look. And that lets you know that people are watching what we're doing here. So I'm more than happy to be a part of this team. Randall Green with the 199 super chat said, Katie speaking on Red making plays is a nice surprise. Randall Green. I told y'all a few weeks ago, Red Morgan was creating some buzz, didn't it?
Oh, 100.
Randall, I'm gonna give you your flowers because when we were in the early stage and I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen because he need to put that weight on. Shoot, he proved me wrong, and I'm backpedaling. He still got to put some weight on. That's the only concern right now with Red. Can we get him to hold some weight? Other than that, boy's out there going crazy.
And for me, like I liked Red a lot. I love the way he came downhill. I wasn't so sure like how he would transition from like more of the coverage aspect, right? And obviously it's been really good, which is cool because a lot of these guys work with all-in-one training, I think it is, and that's JB Woodall. And JB, if you watch, I post his videos on Twitter all the time. I'll like repost those. Man, the work that he does with defensive backs, and it's cool stuff. It's very different, right, than what a lot of guys see. You know what I'm saying? Like it's phenomenal, So some of that deer antler spray.
Yeah, Randall trip, man. Listen, what's crazy is you look at this whole narrative of Kalen DeBoer can't recruit. And chat, do we got flower emojis? I want y'all to give this panel our flowers. I will say this. Abdul Sanders was the guy that I was talking about maybe 2 weeks ago, and then I kind of left it alone because I seen some things and I was like, man, why is he so quiet? Why is he not, But yesterday, what's today? Thursday, Tuesday, saw a group text, got sent a screenshot, reached out to him, simple reply, thumbs up, elephant emoji. So what Coach Smoot gonna do? You ain't got to tell me. I ain't stupid. I can read between the lines. I held on to that, and I brought it straight to who? The undefeated. You want me to tell you why? Because when it came out today at 3 o'clock after I was in the chat, what time was it? About 10 Central Time, 10:30?
Yeah, 10:30.
And y'all remember the comment? I told y'all, man, we not chasing clout over here. We building relationships. These kids love what we're doing. Talk to Luke Metz today. Man.
Yeah, great dude, too.
Luke is a
great dude.
Stud. I would be surprised if he doesn't commit to Bama Sunday. I would be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if Luke was to text me right now and say, hey, coach, I'm about to come on and commit to Bama. Because his visit today went crazy.
Yeah, man. You see that picture with him and Womack at dinner? No, that's cool, man. Like and that man, that's got to feel good, right? Like the energy going on right now is through the roof. Shoot, I mean, gosh, like this is what's crazy is you start to see this momentum, and everybody talks about it. It's starting to be very, very broad. If you guys tuned in today to the Tide, right, with Ryan Fowler 100.9, right, the Tide, with DeBoer and coming on the show today, and it was cool to hear some of the different things and like the mindset, the thought process of the buy-in, right, and continue to buy in. It's not just a one-time thing, Cool, man.
Hey, shout out to you, Casey. Much love. This means a lot to me because a lot of traditional Bama fans from back in the day, they don't. I ain't gonna speak for all of them. There have been a few that have been very vocal about my approach to how I report. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna still do what I'm graced to do, but at the same time, I want to be able to reach everybody. So for you to say that means a lot to me, and to put $10 on top of it to support the team, that means a lot to me, Casey. So I appreciate you. We appreciate you here. And he said, I've been a Bama fan for 66 years. Y'all giving me the best info about the team ever. And mind you, it's some solid outlets out there that do great job reporting and do 100. Content. So for you to say that, it really does feel good. It really does feel good. Thank you so much, Casey. I really do appreciate it. We appreciate it.
100. It means a lot. Thank you.
Hold on. He said, Antoine asking John, what do you consider a hybrid player? I got a question for you guys. How many hybrid players do we actually have on this team? And like Antoine said, what do you consider hybrid? Because Jeremiah Alexander could play. He's at inside linebacker, but he came here as a edge, right? Hand in the dirt, get to the quarterback guy, but he's at inside linebacker, and he's actually playing Mike and not Sting. That's the funny thing.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And here's another thing to that hybrid question is like asking it's very broad, right? Because like, how many of our tight ends and wide receivers could switch? Maybe not a ton there, but this has to be strictly for defense. So you're only truly looking at maybe our edges, our linebackers, DBs, Husky. So, there's a lot there.
If you had to break it down to like the actual positions, I would say anybody that's lined up at Wolf, Husky, or Rover, or even Sting, they're hybrid. They're hybrids because they could play in the overhang. They could get on the edge, get and beat you off the speed rush. They could be your fifth guy on your pressures. They could be your lead stunt man coming from the Sting position, right? Because that's what the Sting is going to be. He's going to be the first one attacking the hole while guys are rolling off of his how the O-line is reacting to his movement, right? So it's a bunch of bunch of hybrid guys, and you talking about hybrid, like even Christian Miller, he was talking about what he would have been recruited as in this defense, right?
Yeah.
Husky is a DB, right? The Husky position is technically a strong safety. Christian Miller got recruited to Alabama. He said he was 6'4", 205, 215, something like that.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Who just got recruited to Bama and is getting pushed out to the edge to play Wolf, but has the ability to possibly play Rover or Husky? Duke Johnson. Like, you could put QB Reese, Noah Carter, Sterling Dixon. I mean,
gosh. Yeah. Wow.
And those are the freshmen. Those aren't even the guys on the roster right now that are proven and have, like, y'all, this team, and mind you, I don't want to overhype things and just be like a fan, but this is something different that we haven't seen at Alabama in years, man. Years.
That is, yeah. I mean, and shoot, you can even look at the newest guy that we just grabbed and shout out to him, Abdul Sanders Jr. You know, man, like, man, love watching this guy's play. I absolutely think it's phenomenal. And Juvie, I see your super chat. Let's throw that up real quick. J. Merrill Smook, what's good, bro? Looking at the team now and the talent we got coming in. What's the ceiling for this upcoming season? Whoa. I know where I'm at with this.
National championship.
That's it. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. That's 100%. That is the direction I would go. I don't even know if the ceiling, I almost feel like it's the expectation. In the craziest way to say it, I know it sounds like, whoa, like you're putting high expectations. Well, guess what? That's what KD's doing in the locker room.
That's what he's doing. Even today, man, he acknowledged the fact that winning is the goal. Winning is the overall goal. Everywhere he's been, he's won. So why would he change it up now because he had Alabama? Now you have every resource available. There's no excuse not to win. So it's not crazy for us to put the pressure on Kalen DeBoer. I understand. Set realistic expectations. We're going on the road to early to Wisconsin, but I don't see them matching up talent wise. We'll win because of talent gap there. Even if we're struggling or still trying to find the identity, we'll win because of talent gap. Georgia, literally, this defense is what Kalen DeBoer loves to coach against. His offense just puts that style of defense to sleep. Also, you look at Tennessee, you go to Tennessee, that's my first concern, honestly. That's a crazy stadium, and they're bringing back a lot on their defensive side. They're bringing back a lot of experience. May not be starters, but experience on that side, especially in the front. So I believe that'll be our offensive line's first true test as far as handling the exotic blitzes, the exotic stunts, and things of that nature. But play calling wise, we got one of the best play callers in the game right now to eliminate those. You saw what they did the second half against Michigan. Michigan just outmatched them. Michigan outmanned them at the end of the day. They didn't out-scheme them. They just outmanned them. Shout out to Uncle Jay with the $10 super chat. Said, I enjoyed the live segment today. And what was ironic is that I just watched Christian Miller last night, and he repeated some of what he said last night. Wow. I mean, when you talking football, it's not hard when you know football, right?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
100%. 100. And I mean, it's cool to see guys like that because you get to kind of relate now back to their experience under Saban and seeing what their perspective is now. Some of these guys from later on or from previous years, and to get their full kind of like, hey, this is how I view it. I feel good about these things. This is maybe the same. This is not, maybe there's not a big of a drop off. Some of the things he said were really, it was really positive. It was really good to hear. And it just kind of points to the direction of where I think my mind and I think a lot of the other guys' mind here on Bama Football on YouTube and again, what's kind of been preached lately is that this direction of where we're going, this direction of what is going on, this feeling, this energy is there. Everyone senses it. They're excited for it. I mean, and we get to see it in how, truthfully, what we see it within the practice field, but where you really get to fully, it's in your face, is we get to see it when we get commitments.
Right.
And I mean, look at our last 24 hours alone.
Yo, and to speak a little bit more on recruiting, man. I told y'all that was 4 names. I'm gonna take one away and I'm gonna add one. I'm gonna replace it. So we got Abdullah, like I called. I feel like we still got a solid chance with Luke Metz. I really think he's Bama. Y'all seen the end of the segment the other night. We got as far as committing this week before, and I mean this week before the week is out. I'm saying Sunday evening. I think we're gonna get this tight end, man. I really do. Current, what's his name?
I'll see Lincoln
Kerr. I think we're really going to get him. I mean, strong feels that we're going to get him. And I honestly believe we might get a guy that hasn't even taken an official visit to Bama yet. I really do.
I like that, man.
And if not that offensive lineman, it's a running back out of California that I feel like coming our way. I tweeted his name, Jordan Davison. I would not be surprised if this young man jumps the gun and wants to be the third back in this class.
Huge.
I would not be surprised if he wants to be the third back in this class, because you look at that spread of running backs, man. Yeah. You talking about guys coming in and they're cool with sitting for 2 years because they know I'm next. Next. I'm going to get opportunities even as a youngin. I'm going to get opportunities to show them some, but.
Yep. And for any of these dudes too, what's crazy is you kind of heard a little bit with some of the guys talking about it from a wide receiver standpoint. I actually have one of them down. Where's he at right here? Is it it's not Derek Meadows, it's Nashawn Montgomery. Okay. So Nashawn brings up a really good point in one of his interviews. And one of those things that he had said was, man, like they could see me playing potentially as a freshman. What is cool is KD is about production and about efficiency and about making sure that you perform. And if you're performing to the way you are expected to perform, you will play. You will see the field. Doesn't matter what year you are. So for a freshman guy to come to Alabama and have this, not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to sit. You might not be like the starter right away. You might be a starter. Well, I don't know. But in this situation where you have an opportunity to see the field as a freshman at Alabama, you got to get your name out there right away. Man, that's even more of a buy-in for these young guys who are thinking like playing time is a big thing for them, right? And I didn't see what this one. Coach KD is aware of pressure he's under, and he's embracing it. Oh, 100%, Casey Jones. And thank you for that $5 super chat. He's completely embracing the pressure. I mean, you know what? He's one of those guys, though, who thrives under pressure. It's talked about by all of his buddies, any of the guys from the past, like Sioux Falls and stuff, all of it. Yeah, what's up, Smook? Smook got something for everybody. Eyes up, everybody.
Nah, it wasn't. It ain't nothing about recruiting. It's just an honor that I have. So I wrote Terry and Arnold the first time yesterday, right? After we spoke at Pro Day. I wrote him. I told him it was good chopping it up with you again, Terry. I love witnessing God's favor on your life.
Much love, man.
You get what I'm saying? Like people think I be capping about what we be doing, man. We build relationships over here. Like there's no reason to lie about anything that we doing. These are young men that are really the NIL, all this new age of recruiting and stuff. It is different, man. So the fact that we're a safe space, I embrace it. I love it. Even for current players, former players, like Christian Miller walking over to us. You didn't see that a few months ago. You didn't see that from play. It just wasn't norm. Like it was like such a divide between media and player interaction, whether it was former players, current players, incoming recruits. So it's good, y'all. It's good to be able to be in this space and really thrive off of this. So shout out Terry and Arnold for showing your boy some love. Jay Jackson, just reiterating my comment, reiterating on my comment last night. Natty Heisman, #1 class in DeBoer in first season is very obtainable. Roll Tide, roll, fellas. Hey, listen, reality of reach. Reality of reach. I'm about to hit y'all with it. Let me get over here. I got a reality of reach for us.
Let's go.
Let's get off of recruiting while we get ready for this. Listen. So today we talked about a lot about the defensive guys. Y'all seen me in Kyle's segment. Merrill, you were talking about how important the tight ends were in this offense, right? How does it feel knowing that CJ Dupree and Danny Lewis are like the head guys, but you also got a guy like Josh Cuevas, who me watching him today did not know the young man was that athletic.
Oh yeah,
He's the most
overlooked player They said it potentially even on the UW roster at one point because of his athleticism. That's why they were trying to work him in as much as they could. But again, everybody uses tight ends, and depending on scenario, situations, the team in general, they use them differently. And they did. They had two senior guys who were in a position that allowed them to capitalize on their experience, right, at University of Washington with the two guys they did use majority of the time. And we're seeing that. We saw that in one of the guys, his combine results were phenomenal. I forgot what they were really good. One of the tight ends. I cannot remember his name from Washington. But I'll say this is with those guys right there, I think what we are also going to see, though, in a very unique way with it, like if I'm Lincoln Kerr, right, here's something I would think about from a standpoint of why I would want to commit almost like this would be the place I want to go. Is Nick Sheridan is now running this offense. He's just been the tight ends coach that was very successful at Washington for the time being. Really got a handle of understanding that tight end position, how it can be utilized within this offense. You have Brian Ellis now coaching that position. Brian Ellis is a mastermind when it comes to the offensive breakdown of a very similar scheme like this one. These tight ends are going to be, keep going, please.
Also, Brian Ellis has experience as a pass game coordinator.
Yes.
Same as Jamarcus Shepard, same as Nick Sheridan.
Mm-hmm.
You got one guy that's had one run game coordinating experience, and that's Cap. And guess who he's coaching the O-line?
That's right.
I mean, this staff was just put together like this is a Frankenstein staff, bro.
It is. It's scary. It's scary because they can utilize things. They're going to see things that others won't see. And they're going to be able to come up with concepts within their scheme, within their packages that will be very unique and different because of all their experiences and where they all come from. But that's a huge shout out to KD of being able. It's like this dude's just a kick-ass CEO, puts all the right pieces in the right place to make sure you have a well-running machine, but at the same time that it's continuing to evolve, right? Because if you don't evolve, you get left behind. So here's exactly a great example of what we're going to see. I think these tight ends are going to hit very unique places in this offense that people will not expect. Therefore, that's why I feel so confident about going into the season and just this, if we were going to say, getting to this national championship and winning, because there's so many pieces, so many pieces. So I'm excited for that. But I mean, and it goes to show these recruits are excited for it too. Ooh, man.
Caleb, why you want to embarrass me like that, man? Jaden Roberts is a freaking mammoth of a human. Why can't just be the tall guy on the scene? Like Kyle already be trying to have me stand off the curve so we could look the same height. And then standing next to Christian Miller. Oh my God, y'all see how big he is over me? Like I think he's 6'5", 6'6". He probably like 230 right now, but he look huge, bro. Yeah, that was crazy. But nah, don't do that to me, man. And then Jaden's mom, I gotta apologize to her. I wasn't able to get pictures of my boy, not no good ones, because of how they had the media set off to the side, the angles and stuff. But he definitely was Jay. You know what's funny? Jaheim Otis, man, that dude funny. He's silly.
Oh, really?
So he was walking through the indoor facility, like getting ready to go do his, I guess, physical therapy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he seen me, man. And me and Randy Orr, longtime writer coverage for Alabama, me and him were talking and walking. And Randy was like, "You know him?" Like pointed at me. And Jaheim Otis was like, yeah. Like, and it was just so funny, like the random interactions that happen, bro. It's just funny. But yeah, listen. What else, man? What else I want to talk about? Dang, man, I forgot. Man. I'm so excited, bro. Like today was just crazy. Today was crazy.
It was. The footage was cool. I mean, well, and I'll hit on a couple of things for you, Smook. Like, so interesting on this. If you guys didn't see it with Gerard Pringle, Gerard Pringle Jr., 4-star running back out of Sefner, Florida. Literally, he's at Armwood High School. Armwood High School is like 2 miles down the road from me. So, right now. And man, he was ecstatic about getting his offer. Ecstatic. I mean, the stuff he was saying, go check that out. Like it's on Bama 247 by Brett Greenberg. Great article. He was really, really excited. I mean, the stuff that he was saying about Alabama, I mean, a lot of these kids getting these offers, and we really got to see it with I guess with Duke, with DJ, right, Johnson, and just him posting that picture of him as a kid. And I talked about this a little bit this morning.
That video,
dude. I mean, I almost freaking cried earlier this morning on live because it hit me that hard because it just reminded me of that same thought process you have as a kid and the dreams you get to achieve. And I think these guys are seeing it too. I mean, now with Abdul Sanders, like, I think we're going to continue to see this trend. I mean, people talk about family, and they literally, there's a girl on Ryan Fowler's show today, a woman called in saying, like, it legitimately feels like family. Yeah. It is crazy. Like the way people say family all the time, and that term can be at times abused, right? Because what does a family truly mean, you know? And with football teams and everything. But these guys, what they have going on here, it means exactly the way it's supposed to mean. And that is a tight-knit group that makes sure they take care of each other, they love each other, they build each other up, they hold each other accountable, and they do it together for each other, right? Huge deal. That love is real here. And that's what these kids want to be a part of. That says something to any of the guys' character who commit too. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
what up?
Wait, I'm trying to read what Antoine's saying. Too many carries will be split between Miro Haynes and Miller for a running back to get awards next year. Did you not see what they did with Dylan Johnson last year? And then even like the backup backs, they had a nice amount of carries, man. This offense is definitely going to be balanced. I'm just confident in Miro's development, man. I feel like it's going to be easier than what people expect. I don't think it's going to take 6 weeks to find identity with this offense. I think the level of balance that you're going to be able to roll with, depending on the game and the situation, it's going to be hard to contain Alabama's offense. And I'm not saying it's going to be unstoppable. I just think you're going to need top tier talent, all 11 positions on both sides of the ball to really hang out and stick with us, or go natural. You know, go get your natural products and cook them yourself. But you're talking about find with us for groceries in the store, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance right now. Jaden Harmon, that's another guy that just got offered by Bama. Another linebacker. You look at his film, fast, quick.
Dang, man.
I mean, over the next 3 or 4 days, chat, do not be surprised if people just start committing left and right.
My gosh, it's gonna be crazy, man.
I mean,
this is gonna be nuts.
Quanell Farrakhan, he's not running away from competition. Nashawn Montgomery, he's not running away from competition. Everybody kept asking me about Travis Smith Jr. I'm gonna be honest. I'm starting to feel like he may be a Georgia lean, but at the same time, Travis is all about quality. And if you're talking about quality as far as production, look at what Alabama's done with wide receivers. Even in the struggle years, look at what Alabama's done with wide receivers. Damn. They said, Ronald Cross says, y'all are better than Paul Feinbaum. Y'all need to take. Nah, I ain't gonna say that now.
I'm not getting on that shit.
Look, I ain't go. Look, Ronald, you're not about to get me blackballed from the industry, man. You stepping, you treading in dangerous waters. There, man. We appreciate the comment. We appreciate the comment.
No, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
But them treading dangerous waters. You start speaking on that one because he earned them stripes. You know what I'm saying? See,
I think too, man. What were you saying, Smoot?
Marquita, what? Up in the chat.
Well, here's the thing too with us is we're just real. Like this is kind of the thing is like what you see. If you were to meet us like in person, this is the exact same energy, the exact same excitement. There is no. This is a segment where we're talking, but this is not like a fake human being here. This is real, like legitimately. Our personalities, everything about it, we're all just real.
Yeah,
It's
a pleasure to be a member of this Bama family. Thank you for all you do. Hey, no problem, Casey Jones. Appreciate your $5 super chat. You going crazy tonight? Did we have another one? Oh, okay.
No, that's this one I saw.
Got it.
That was it. That was
Listen, y'all. What time is it?
It's at 10.
Okay, it's 9. So we right there at the mark where we kind of want to end it, because myself and Jake will be on again next segment. You see us together. I got to see what the schedule is tomorrow, but if it's the same lineup for that it was today, maybe Kyle I think might lead off on Friday morning, and then we'll get into the rotation. But if it is, y'all, we'll continue to talk about practice. I just don't want to drag along the time tonight. You know, we kind of went over having all 4 of us on it. It doesn't matter. It was great. It was a good time. But I do want to recollect everything. I want to share my information with Jake. We didn't really get to plan for this, but it's always natural. I think we did good in-depth recruiting, reactions, all of that stuff. But yeah, Jake, we're gonna come back tomorrow, and we really gonna break down practice, because it was a lot of the takeaway from practice, man. I felt like I wish I could show y'all my notepad. I had 3 pages of notes, y'all. And y'all know I don't like writing. I wrote. Like, I was evaluating. I felt like a real scout out there doing some evaluations, man, and seeing some of the things that was happening technique-wise, especially with the inside linebacker group, and then the edges, like the flexibility that's being preached. Yanzi Pierre, Keanu Cope, those 2 are some freaking dogs. Of course, Q-Rob is there. James Smith, Quay Rusar, like dogs, man. We are deep with dogs everywhere on the field. So I'm excited, chat. But I can't stay long. I do got to get ready for work tonight. Hold
on here. Hold on, Smook, real quick. Please put some respect on his name, number 15. Hold on real quick, because we got to figure. We don't know all the players by
number 15.
Numbers.
They're talking about Xavier Brown.
Oh, yes.
Or you talking about? Or you? Is it Brown? No, Mincy might be 15. Brown is 16.
I got the DBs pulled up right here. Let me take a peek. 15 is Xavier Brown.
Hey, listen. Y'all want to scoop on that?
Let's go. Because I'll talk about this too. I have a lot of love for this kid. So go ahead, Smook.
So first up in those rotations, when it came to those drills and doing like coverage technique stuff, you had Damani Jackson and Jalen Mbakwe, which is crazy to me. Jalen Mbakwe and Jaleel Hurley was available, right? Jaleel Hurley was available. Heard some talks about, evaluation session. A lot of guys didn't grade out like they thought they were after the first week of practice. So I hate to say this, but there are some mopers out there. It's some mopers out there. And I'm not saying none of the names I mentioned, but you could tell that like some of the energy has changed coming into this second practice of the week, where things are being implemented and guys are starting to be pulled to be put in positions to get looks and how schematics are going to shape up. But Xavier Brown was on the next group with that's who it was. So y'all remember, and Jake, you got the roster up. Number 38, he's a walk-on.
Yeah, let me pull this. Hold on.
Jaleel Hurley,
Elijah May,
Mincy. People were laughing at me when I was talking about this dude's technique and how fluid he was. Guess who? He was at the second group, and other guys.
Elijah May.
Just because you don't get an offer and you're not on scholarship doesn't mean you can't ball. So whoever was trying to take shots at me when I was talking about the walk-on guy looking good out there on the field, hey, kick rocks, buddy. That's all I'm saying. Smooth, you will drop my email to the chat, please. Yes, I'm gonna actually make them better, Auntie Janet. Auntie Janet got honey for the chat. So Jake, expound on that topic about the DBs, man, especially with Xavier Brown and Mincy. Those guys, they look nice out there.
Yeah, Mincy, if you guys got to catch any of the clips on Mincy, you get to see really how big he is, which is impressive for a freshman, especially playing cornerback. I love seeing those guys who are, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" cornerbacks with that sort of size. It's fun to see them play at that position because they get to use their length, which is, I mean, you saw it a long time ago. We saw it with, honestly, the Seahawks defense when they had that beautiful defensive secondary. And man, I forgot what they called them too. I can't believe
Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom, baby. I think you have that. I think you see that with some of the size in Mincy. He's going to cover ground really well. Like I said, I really liked him as a boundary corner, just because of that size. I'd be interested to know if I didn't get to see all where he was necessarily playing, or when they start to scrimmage, we'll get to see some of that. It'll be kind of fun to check that out, to see who's playing in what position. But then you switch over to Xavier Brown, and Coach KD brings up Brown specifically. And I will tell you, right,
Morgan,
him and Red Morgan, yeah, and that it's cool to hear with Red. I don't think, again, he didn't get maybe as much recognition as maybe he deserved. I liked his film. I thought he was a missile. That's what I looked him as. He is that group, the way we used to call it, right, when we played DB, is you fighter pilots. All right, it's Top Gun school. That's what those DBs are. You're coming in and you're going to work. You're going to war in the air, baby. And so you want those guys who can send that home, and Red does that. What's awesome, I think, too, out of this defense, in like we talked, a lot of zone drop read, is you get to play more of your natural ability, a little more smooth. The concepts aren't as complicated to pick up from a coverage standpoint. So these guys, we're going to see them excel really, really quickly. I love that. I absolutely love that. So again, going back to Xavier Brown, like, one of the things for everybody, that if you haven't seen it, on Teague's Take, man, I love watching Teague's Take. George Teague, phenomenal, but he breaks down Xavier Brown really well. Just about a month ago, and it went hand in hand similar with some of the things I was saying too, and that might just be that DB mindset of playing defensive back, but I tell you, Xavier Brown is a technical machine, and KD is seeing it. The coaching staff is seeing it. I think that guy is really going to push the lineup for a starting position. I really do. Now, we'll see how it goes, as far as they continue to install packages and continue to integrate new looks. But I do think we're going to see him with some playing time. I just think the guy is so sound technically. In at one point, there's been a comment made that that's the type of guy who could potentially, just based on his skill set and how well he is, he can go to the NFL like now based on skill set alone, and his technique. That's impressive. Now, there's a lot of growth that still happens outside of skill set and technique, but I'll tell you, to get that sort of praise and recognition from your head coach, but also from some greats such as George Teague and some of these other guys who come on, I'll tell you, that has to feel really, really good. And I think you do see it in his ability. And we're going to continue to see it as he gets more comfortable. Because you got to remember, a lot of these guys, this is week 2, but really it's more like week 1. You had like your 3-4 days of practice. You went on a long spring break, continue to work out. Now you're getting into the jive of football, just from a standpoint of integrating and installing the defense and offense. So now you actually got to think a little bit, and can we get to see who picks up on these things really fast and still performs at a really high level. So
right. And like I said, I've always been high on Mincy and Brown. I said Mincy was more physically ready, right, to play at the college level. Brown,
100.
more technically sound, and like you're seeing it happen on the field right now. I'm excited, man, because you got guys like Devontae Smith out there coaching up these freshmen, Malachi Moore, who is the leader of that defense. Even Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell out there coaching up young guys, freshmen. Casey Jones, Caden Jones, my fault. And man, if y'all didn't pay attention, y'all wouldn't even know who Orinoco. Y'all wouldn't know who he was. You would think he was a light-skinned brother from Cali or something. Like, he does not look like, his name doesn't match him, and he's jacked.
Okoronkwo.
Like, come on. But, Chad, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. I got to get up out of here for real, man. I appreciate everybody. Auntie Janet, if y'all want some honey from Auntie Janet, hit her up right there, janetforce2@gmail.com, right? Y'all show Auntie some love, support the support. You get what I'm saying? If you want to make sure, listen, me and Jake Merrill, we're going to start evaluating a lot of film, reacting to it together, breaking it down. Coach@gmail.com. Send us all the recruits, 25 to 28, recruits. We want them all. Send them to us, and we'll start breaking it down. We got a few cuts that we got to do and get ready for because we got Alabama recruits coming in. We might get a commitment like 9 o'clock in the morning, y'all.
Boom. And I'll give you guys mine too. Mine is coach_Merrill at outlook.com. So if you guys want to send those over too, and we get those rolling, so we all have a chance to check them out. I know I don't want to overload Smook's mailbox too.
Hey,
just like 500 emails.
Did you say coach underscore
Merrill
at AOL.com?
Yeah, MERRILL. Yeah, at outlook.com.
I said AOL.
AOL, yeah, that's back in the day, man. Back in the day. But yeah, send those out, man. We'll check them out. We'll break them down. You know, I've been getting some stuff out there and seeing some players hit me up on Twitter and whatnot, and seeing some really good film. I mean, there's a couple kids I've seen, I'm going to be honest with you, who are under the radar kids who I think are going to really come at. There's some young dudes that in the 27, 26 class, I will tell you right now, that are like just foaming at the mouth, waiting for their opportunity, waiting for their team. I'm excited for that. Like, whoa, you know?
Antoine, I'm about to put you in timeout, boy. You acting up. Been acting up all day. I'm about to put you in timeout. You're going to have to go get your boy Steven from out the corner. You keep acting up, Antoine. Talk about some honey packs. Antoine, you a fool, man. I
love it.
Hey, that's my cousin, man. I just building my whole family in this chat, man. I got cousins, I got aunties, I got uncles. Look, don't be paying me. Look, no home training. It's either you or Sean. Moon Rocker act up every now and then. Then the sisters, y'all get Katrina and Kimberly and LaQuasia, Monica. Y'all get them acting up, and Auntie Janet be egging y'all on, and then you get Larry Large coming here, say a couple of hot stuff, and then go hide like he ain't did nothing. Then Tink and Patriot Life, they come in and try to be the big brothers and keep everybody together, but then Sean and 334 get to acting up, and it just, I love the family, man. Caleb come in, this morning we won't have that no more, y'all. I apologize on behalf of the the network. We don't condone all that crazy talk. Yeah, it's okay to have disagreements, but we won't stand it. Fan funder or not, we're not gonna stand for it. I spoke directly with Kyle today and explained the situation. And y'all know I didn't say anything out the way. I had an opinion about Caden Proctor. A couple y'all disagree with me. Me and Antoine disagreed, but he went in here talking about F everybody. So we're not gonna stand for that, y'all. We a family. You get what I'm saying? So let's continue to enjoy it. Dark Green Duck, what's good, man?
What's up, man?
He said you don't see the email. Well, you're gonna have to go back and watch it. You're gonna have to go back and watch it. I'm just playing now, man. Hold on, let me get you straight. Dark Green Duck. Dark Green Duck, you've been rocking with me for a while. We've been
that's cool.
We've known each other for a while. Coach Merrill at outlook.com.
Yeah.
Coach _ Merrill at outlook.com. And you got Coach Smook at gmail.com. Y'all know that's how you find your boy. But yeah, man, I'm out, man. Jake, appreciate you for joining us tonight, man. Tomorrow, we're gonna see what the plan is for tomorrow. And we're gonna get this thing popping early. We're gonna pop it off real good tomorrow, like for real, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good stuff.
Oh yeah. And chat, undefeated. Put the pressure on Kyle and T to let us have the Friday night G14 classified segment.
Boom.
The hats come off. The hats come off. And we're gonna act up. Sean, you don't be minding your business. Cuz you be acting up the worst. You be acting up the worst. And Jarvis ain't too far behind y'all. Dark Reed said that head joker. Hey, stop talking about my head, y'all. Cause somebody hurt my feelings earlier. Auntie Janet know who it was. They hurt my feelings. Talk about my head.
Yep.
Hey, JJ. JJ, go to bed. Look, hold up. JJ, I'm gonna put you in timeout just because. Hold on, I got you. Just because you want to be that, you want to be my cousin and be the one that we got to pull the belt out for. What a belt is. Let's put JJ in timeout. Let's end that poll. JJ, where your comment at? I can't even see it. You being ghetto. Don't hide. Let me see. Dang, I can't even put you in timeout. I can't find your comment. JJ, you got lucky. Say something else, JJ. Say something else. I'm gonna put you in timeout for the last minute of the stream. Say something else.
Oh, thanks, Kimberly. Kimberly called us handsome.
Handsome, girl.
We handsome. Oh,
that's that Kool-Aid and that gin talking.
Mm.
That's that Kool-Aid and gin talking in the corner right now.
Oh man, I love it, man.
Y'all, man, for real. So
100%.
with that being said, it's been fun. Coach Jake, right? And Coach Smook, man. We appreciate y'all. Bama Football on YouTube. We here to stay. Don't ever doubt it. Appreciate y'all support. Without y'all, we are not who we are. This channel is not what it is. So continue to support. Don't forget to show some love to our sponsors. And we're gonna end the show tonight with the commercial. So y'all go ahead and get them hashtags ready. Y'all know what time it is. Coach Jay, you got something to say before you get out of here?
Roll Tide, everybody. We'll see you in the morning.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. Much love, everybody. Kyle, take it away, Mr. Rub It On My Back.
Special thanks to our sponsor, Residence in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at residenceinOC.com. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing up to 20% off. Also, go to therogueshop.com. Use the promo code Bama. You get legal CBD. For me, personally, I like the topical oil. You know how intense my workouts are, right? So I like the topical oil. I like to rub that on my back, whatever, after those cinder blocks. So go to their website, cruise down, look through their website, and definitely check out rogueshop.com. And like I said, I like the topical. Again, the promo code is BAMA. Also, think about becoming a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Become a part of the Undefeated as low as $2.99 a month. That's 10 cents a day. How do you do this? Make sure you're logged into your account. This is on a computer. You can also do this on your phone and look for the tab that says membership. Once you click membership, you can see different options. You can see an upgrade button right there to the right if you want to go through the different levels. We have fan funder videos from the staff right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Very easy to navigate. Let us know if you have questions inside the comment box when trying to upgrade or renew your fan funder membership right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And of course, if you want to rock that undefeated gear, check out our merch store located at the bottom of the videos. We appreciate Patriot Life, Cynthia, Antoine, Caitlin, and to everybody else that supports us right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Okay. Just so everybody knows. It's just love. It was just love. We had to, right? We had to. Much love.
I mean, love y'all, man.
It's amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Man. Good night, chat. Roll Tide.
Good night.
Don't forget to rub the oil on your back so you can sleep good. Don't forget to rub the oil on your back. Much love, y'all. We out, man. Roll Tide.
Peace.